Yes, yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from Percy'sGrowroom.com. I am Macky from the UK, and joining us this week, we have John.
Woo! Here I am, everybody, on a beautiful day. It's Sunday. Hope everybody's doing great today.
Yeah, it's fucking warm. You say it was warm over your way as well?
28°C today.
Mild for you then?
Yeah. Well, it's been hot as shit.
It's apparently a record high here, according to the little thing about tells them what's going on at the bottom of the PC here. Record high, allegedly. I doubt that. What are you saying, Billy?
About what?
About everything, really.
It's all a bit shit, really, the weather here, because it's just been shit. Everywhere's been sunny. Yesterday we had fucking fog everywhere.
That's
So
lame. Is it like warm and humid or what? Is it just...
It's warm and overcast today. So
Okay.
but, yeah, it's not cold at least.
Damn.
But yeah, we had like fucking thunderstorms and everything as well. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So
I do like a good thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's just when it's been warm for days, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man. Margaret isn't here this week. She's gone to what she said was a cannabis pride event. Now I don't know what that is. Whether it's like a pride parade to I don't know, LGBTQ kind of stuff, or whether it's like I'm a proud cannabis user kind of parade. I don't know, but she's at a cannabis pride event this week. So I hope she has a nice time, and we'll find out what that actually is and what she got up to next week when she comes back. So make sure you join us next week to hear about that kind of shit, everybody. But yeah, it's been a hot week. It's been a week. Let's just say that it's been a week. God damn, we had the Patreon session a couple of days ago. That was a good session. Had some good conversation there. Yeah, man. So we got some and another, just like last week, it's like, let's not talk about the mainstream media, the main news around the world, because everything's just going fucking mad everywhere. So yeah, we're going to take a couple of hours to avoid talking about any of that kind of crazy shit, and we're going to talk about cannabis related kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Woo! One of the main stories, we'll a quick run through what we're going to be covering here. We've got 6 stories today, and one of those, I'm sure most of you have probably heard about already, but Thailand, I'm sure you're all aware about Thailand legalized cannabis not so long ago. Wow. They've changed their mind, and they are going to move to recriminalize cannabis, shaking the $1 billion industry. That's fucking crazy. I think this is the first time we've seen a country do that, right? Go from being legal to being illegal again, taking backward steps, right?
Right. So is it, and I don't want to get too much into it, but did they change, like, did they have a shift in their politics over there recently?
I've got no idea. I'm sure it'll tell us all in the article.
Okay.
We'll take a look at that shit. Then we got some... Listen to this one. This is how bad the UK is, everybody. We're back to throwing kids in prison here. Boy, 6 among Brits detained in Mauritius after £1.6 million sterling of cannabis haul was found in luggage from London Gatwick. What? Is the fucking little 6-year-old kid with his Paw Patrol suitcase full of weed or something? What the fuck? We'll find out what the fuck happened there. You know what I mean?
Dora.
Hola. Anyway, then we got... Well, these guys have been on the show before. This Cancard, these guys, there's some controversy. Advocacy group PatientsCann UK reports Cancard to the police over patient harms claims. Wow, that's going to be an interesting one to get to. I'm glad you brought that one along there, Billy. And then, we got this legal medical cannabis in the UK, allegedly. It's all a fucking farce. Who knows what's actually going on? But there's, we're talking about these NIMBYs in an article here. They're not in my backyard kind of thing. Intrusive Jersey cannabis farm noise affects lives. So these big farms seem to be really noisy, and the people in Jersey are unhappy about it.
The fucking plants are just growing. Like, seriously, what are we doing?
Probably fans or something, anyway. I don't know. Or just loud staff. Loud staff celebrating. Yay, we can grow weed and nobody else can. Yay. Yeah. And then one here, we got Mike Tyson and other celebs push Trump down the stairs. No, they didn't really. That didn't happen. Mike Tyson and other celebs pushed Trump to go further on marijuana than Biden by expanding clemency and enacting rescheduling. You mean like keep the promise that he kept? You know what I'm saying? Didn't he say he was gonna? He said he was gonna legalize cannabis, right, or decriminalize?
Biden? Or
No, Trump. Biden did, and he fucked everybody over for 4 years.
Yeah,
but Trump said something about it as well. We'll see.
I think he did, but I don't think he really was like, yeah, let's do this. I think he was like, yeah, let's continue what we're supposed to be
something
doing.
Needs to happen. Yeah. And then the Mrs. Macky sent me a news article the other day. This is quite funny. She's like, oh, take a look at this in Wales. And the title of it is, NSW politicians say cannabis decriminalisation inevitable after report points to unequal system in New South Wales politics. And I'm like, that's in Australia. She's like, oh no, it's in Wales there. I'm like, New South Wales is in Australia, love. Yeah. She wasn't aware of that. You know what I mean? She was thinking we were talking about the old South Wales. But no, I'm actually talking about New South Wales. So some stories there from Australia as well. So lots to get into today, everybody. Yeah, let us just chat some shit. I got my Mighty fired up here. I should pour a little whiskey, I think, as well. A little tip of whiskey. Maybe in a bit. I'll think about it. But I've got not some, as I said. Wait, you got some? Let's do it there, John.
Yeah.
Pour a glass.
Whoa, shit. Hold on.
Wow.
Hold on.
If anybody's out there with some whiskey, might as well fire some up as well. Join us for this one. Pop, do you hear that? There you go. Yeah, and I also got some nice peach iced tea. What are you drinking on, Billy? What you got?
I've got a little bit of aloe vera drink and some pineapple juice.
Nice.
I love the pineapple juice.
Yeah.
Let's see what mine sounds like, man.
I have a pen.
I've got mixed tropical juice as well.
Damn it. Mine's a fucking screw top.
Boo!
Maker's Mark.
Cheap whiskey.
It's fucking Maker's Mark. I thought it had an actual cork on it. I haven't opened this bottle in a while now.
Yes. What's that? Irish grower in the chat there says, okay, guys, but I'm doing some nice Eldorado rum. You do you, bro. You do you.
I love rum, bro.
Yeah. Nice. And of course, if anybody else wants to partake, or if you don't have to as well, everybody, if anybody wants to steer away from that kind of thing, then don't get involved. That's cool. Just smoke with us while we make our way through the stories and the grow guides today.
That's right. Cheers, everybody.
Good times. Yes, cheers. You got your glass there, John?
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.
Chin chin, as they say.
Chin. Mine's got bits of aloe in it as well, though. It's got bits in.
Ooh.
That was a good one. That was tasty.
Ooh, yeah. Feeling good.
I still got a lot here. I'm gonna have to.
Feeling good on a Wednesday. Remember that scene there from South Park? Jeez.
So, do you prefer yours on ice or no ice? Room temperature?
No. Ice is for skating on, not for diluting whiskey. My good sir.
Listen. I get it, and for me, it depends on the whiskey. To be honest with you, but have you ever seen those big, round, just ice balls?
Yeah.
Those. I love those in a glass with just a shot of whiskey in it, so that you can just chill it a bit and then fucking throw it back. Boom.
But you get these things called whiskey cubes, which are like ice cubes, but they're stone. They're not ice, so they can cool the whiskey, but not melt into it and dilute it as well. So you can get those.
That sounds better.
Nice.
Yeah. Because you don't want to dilute the whiskey, but some people do.
Soda water's for gays, really. Why bother having a whiskey if you're going to put water in it? Gay with a G-H-E-Y.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Gay. Kind of. Yeah. But, and as well, you see these people who, the connoisseurs of whiskey, would put, just a few drops, a few milliliters of warm water into the whiskey, and that apparently opens it up a bit, lets more terpenes out. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
I do not mind a Maker's Mark. It is pretty good. It's not terrible.
So with that, there's a nice little warm-up intro to the show there. Are we ready for some news already?
Might as well. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's take a look at this shit going on in Thailand, man. What the F? Let's go.
Fucking Thailand.
So, Thailand, they were doing so well, and now they are just degenerate illegal cannabis users like the rest of us.
Oh my God.
Didn't really love them long time, did they? Really?
No, no, love you for just a little while.
Yeah, love you little while.
Jesus, Jesus, what have you started us off, Billy? That's not even fucking Thailand. That was Vietnam. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's all the same.
Tomato,
area, isn't it?
tomato.
Yeah.
That was
don't
an
know, I'm not
epic
there.
movie, man. Epic movie. Jesus. Yeah, so Thailand moves to recriminalize cannabis, shaking the $1 billion industry. I'm sure they're referring to the American dollars there, not the Australian dollars, or they'll be like $5 billion industry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let's get straight in here. Bangkok on the June 25th, according to Reuters. I don't know. Thailand's
Bangkok.
Thailand's government is moving to recriminalize cannabis, plunging into limbo, an industry estimated to be worth over $1 billion that has boomed since the substance was taken off the country's narcotics list in 2022. So it's only been 3 years, man. Wow.
That's a billion. But Thailand's a small place as well, man. So to get $1 billion in 3 years in that time, that's like 300 or 30 million odd a year. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
You know, for such a small country, to be honest, man.
Yeah, it's a
turn
lot.
that away. You know?
Man, even for a country the UK size.
Yeah.
Imagine making $1 billion over 3 years on cannabis. It's a ridiculous amount of money. The push to impose new controls on recreational use of cannabis comes after the Bomjati party, which championed its... It was all right, wasn't it? It was all right.
Yeah.
I did all right.
Kudos for that one.
Thank you. Which championed its legalization, withdrew from the ruling coalition last week following Thai Prime Minister... Oh my goodness. I'm just going to say Pentagram Shinawtra's apparent mishandling of a border route with Cambodia. Gosh.
Okay.
You'll be surprised, everybody, if you could see this article on the screen. You can see it's pretty close to Pentagram. All right. Jesus.
It's very close, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Late on Tuesday, Thailand's health minister issued an order prohibiting the sale of cannabis for recreational use and making it mandatory for any retail purchase to require a doctor's prescription. The new rules will come into effect once they are published in the Royal Gazette, which could happen within days. Damn.
Or years.
Yeah, well, it depends on how quick the government wants to work on this one, don't they? Cannabis will be classified as a narcotic in the future. Health Minister Somsak Theps. This was a really bad idea for me to get this article. We should have left this for Margaret. She's good at this.
For real.
Oh. Somsak Thepsuthin said on Tuesday, 3 years ago, Thailand became one of the first countries in Asia to decriminalize the recreational use of cannabis, but without any comprehensive rules to govern the sector. Since then, tens of thousands of shops and businesses selling cannabis have sprung up across Thailand, many of them located in the country's tourism hubs. Thai Chamber of Commerce, not telling us who, I appreciate that. Thai Chamber of Commerce previously estimated the industry, which includes medical products, could be worth 1.2 billion by 2025. Unregulated access to cannabis has created serious social problems, particularly for children and young people, said government spokesman Jirayu Hongsub. That reminds me, Squid Games 3 is out now, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Squid Games back on, everybody. Don't leave the show now. Finish the show first, and then go watch Squid Games after the show. You know what I'm saying? Binge watch. Yeah, I've read that one out, didn't I? Yeah, I have to say it again. The policy must return to its original goal of controlling cannabis for medical use only, Jira said in a statement. The recriminalization push has left some cannabis industry members like Punathat Puti Sawong, I fucking did well then. I sounded it out perfect, man. That was it. That was good.
You did.
Who works with the Greenhouse Thailand dispensary in Bangkok, stunned. This is my main source of income, Punathat, 25, told Reuters. Many shops are probably just as shocked because a lot of them invested heavily. The cannabis sector could have transformed Thai agriculture, medicine, and tourism, but uncertainty and policy reversals have stymied any suitable growth, said cannabis activist Chokwan Kitty Chopaka.
I'm so glad you got this one, bro.
Yeah, innit? I am so laughing in my own.
Shut up, man. Gosh, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my
doing
best.
Great, but it's
Jesus.
the names that are just.
I know, right? I mean, that one's a
Shane,
bit
bro.
fucked, isn't it? I mean, use your imagination with that one. Chuck one kitty chopperca. Fucking hell. I wouldn't be able to say that.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
well,
shit,
anyway.
dude.
Anyway. What about... I would think he should more chuck one dog chopperca. I shouldn't say that. Gosh. The industry has become... the cannabis industry has become a hostage to politics, she said. It always has been, you know. On Wednesday, there was still a steady trickle of customers, mainly tourists, coming into cannabis shops in Bangkok's Koh San Road area. Among them, Daniel Wolf, who is visiting from Australia. There are shops everywhere, so how do they reverse this for real? I don't think they can, he said. It's absolutely insane. Wow. I might as well just go all in here. Reporting by Napat Weshashata, Chayot Setboon Song, and Panorat Thep Gumptanat. Edited by Devjoit Goshal and Raju Gopal Krishnan.
Dude,
Wow.
well done, sir.
Yay, well done.
I thought, fuck it, I've already butchered all the other names. I might as well just read the last little bit here and fuck it up completely. You know, it's done now, everybody. It's out the way.
Really good.
Yeah, thank
Really
you.
good.
I'm bilingual. Yeah. But fuck, man, what the fuck are they thinking? How is this even going to be implemented? How can such a huge... Because it's not just the recreational industry. You got to think about all those farms that are out there growing now. Didn't Breeder Steve open up a farm over there to make seeds and shit? Then there was...
A few people have, haven't they? So,
yeah, from Potent Ponics, Steve Reisner went out there, and I'm sure he was doing shit out there. Loads of people went out there to start businesses. I wonder what's going to happen with them now.
Fuck.
Damn.
So you're telling me that one group, whatever they are, coalition, was holding this together, and because some border issue, they're like, fuck it, we're out and we're going to leave everybody else high and dry? Like, that's what happened?
I have no idea.
I mean, and then they're going to sit there and go, oh, but by the way, we don't want that extra, and I'll even give it to you $500 million because, you know, just reverting back to medical, you know, you're not going to get as much. Yeah. You know,
maybe 10%, 20%.
They just want to lose all that revenue.
Damn.
In the country, that's crazy to me.
Wow. Just saying, Nicholas Hack in chat there said, I thought you had dyslexia. No, I can read absolutely fine. You know, just some words I have difficulty with.
Yeah, like regular words.
Yeah. Sometimes. It depends. Yeah, but fucked up shit, man. What do you think, Billy?
Fucked up shit, isn't it? Reversing this. It's just mad. Completely fucking mental. Why the fuck would they want to lose all, like I said, that start that amount of money? And also, like you're saying, like the businesses we've got to close down, and the tourism, it's gonna fucking lose them. It's just like,
how many jobs are going to be lost because of this?
It's just like, what the fuck? It's just crazy. I still can't comprehend it's actually happened, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right. And so quick.
Yeah. When do you ever see him pass any cannabis law this quickly when it's positive? You know, so it was 6 months, maybe a year, and this one 3 days. That's all you've got. Yeah. Pack up your shit.
Yeah, I think they got other incentives somewhere along the line because it just seems odd.
It takes me longer than 3 days to smoke a joint nowadays. Fuck, you know, it's pretty fucked, man. That's pretty fucked. So I don't know what's going to happen from here, but of course we'll keep you informed, everybody. This is going to be a developing story over the next few weeks as more and more shit happens. But man, is it time for those guys to get out there and peacefully protest to get their voices heard? I don't know, man. Yeah, but is it risky in Thailand? I don't know what their right to protest is. Scary.
Yeah, they might run you over with tanks if you protest. Send a lady boy round.
Oh God.
You know, Sevan, Sevan, you lie.
Yeah, they send him round looking for Stephen, mate.
You know, fucking hell. If people don't get that fucking what I just said there, if they don't get the joke, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is he on about?" And those who do get the joke are gonna be pissing themselves. You know?
Yeah,
That's a funny ass video.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, that's right. What a video. But yeah, unlucky Thailand. Welcome back to the Stone Age.
Firetop's laughing. That's not surprised this scene,
Yeah,
is it?
he gets it. I think he's got it saved on his phone. I think he showed me.
And the other video as well. Did he show you that too?
Which one? The dog one? Jesus. Wow. Yeah.
Oh
anyway,
my God. Hoo-wee.
Anyway, let's not expose content from the secret group. Let's go on to the next one. Billy, let's talk about Cancard, man. Oh, no, let's do Cancard next because you've only got one article. No, you got two, ain't you, Billy?
Okay, I've got two, yeah.
Let's do Cancard next. This one, I'm interested in what the fuck's going on here, bro.
So basically, PatientsCann UK has issued a national warning about the Cancard scheme and reported it to the police forces across the UK. So they're claiming that the service is causing harm to medical cannabis patients through widespread confusion about its legal status, which is completely true. The advocacy group alleges that Cancard, which markets itself as a form of medical cannabis ID, is misleading vulnerable patients as it provides no legal protection for possession under the UK law, which is completely true again.
Yep.
So the Cancard is a medical ID card scheme costing around £30 that's designed for patients who use cannabis for medical purposes but cannot access legal prescriptions, often due to obviously financial barriers and availability issues. But people who also do have a medical prescription get the card as well because they think that it's going to save them.
Yeah.
Like it don't. So,
and I don't think it was intentional though, because Carly Barton, she was on the show, she seemed fair, and it seemed as if she was actually trying to do something, but it was just more difficult than I think she initially anticipated.
So, for us dumb people that aren't over there, what exactly kind of card is it then? If it's not like your actual medical card?
Okay, what is it? It's a card that basically says that you use cannabis medically. That's all it is.
So you can't just use your medical card that you already can get? Or...
You don't have a medical card in the UK, if you know what I mean. So this offers as a medical card, even though it's not a medical card, yeah? So it's like a confusing state. It's preying on the confused state of the law and the card itself.
Right.
So they reckon the scheme has around 30,000 members across the UK. Indicating that they use cannabis qualified for medical conditions supported by evidence from a specialist and all that, which you do normally, sort of thing. So, but whatever a specialist is nowadays, because like that's again, it's controversial, isn't it? Whilst Cancard is not a legal exemption and cannabis remains a B drug, the scheme aims to enable police officers to use discretion when encountering card holders with cannabis, encourage them to consider medical necessity before taking enforcement action. So basically, it's a please don't arrest me because I'm a medical user card. It's like a please don't arrest me, officer, and get me out of jail free card, a begging card.
Oh, we got here 21X, sorry to interrupt, Billy. 21X Metal 12 in the chat says Carly stepped down. Did you hear about that, Billy? She stepped down?
That's not surprising, really. Yeah. That's...
Wow.
Because, like, she's
crazy.
A bit dodgy, yeah. Both. The company behind Cancard is now under investigation by the police forces across Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland for alleged false claims and potential financial exploitation of vulnerable patients, which is what it was, in my opinion. I said that from the start. The investigations follow reports from the police from PatientsCann director Sal Aziz, and according to the advocacy groups, other cannabis patients who say they have suffered mistreatment due to the confusion created by the Cancard scheme. According to the PatientsCann UK, patients with the legitimate private prescriptions have reported having their legally dispensed medication ceased simply because they did not present a Cancard.
Wow.
Meanwhile, individuals without valid prescriptions have presented their Cancard.
Let's just go back to that. So, because I heard John go, what? So essentially, what you're saying
Yeah,
is that
see, now
people
I'm
have
even
gone
more
out. Yeah,
confused.
so people have gone out and jumped through all the hoops that was necessary to get the prescription cannabis from
Yep.
whichever place they're supposed to get it from, and they've been found with that cannabis by a law enforcement officer, who's
hmm
then taken the cannabis from them because they didn't have a Cancard. Am I right to understand what that paragraph just said?
Yeah,
I have
that
to
is what
read
it
it
just
again.
said.
Private
So also,
prescription
yeah,
server for
yep,
cannabis.
private prescription. So you've got everything in your name written in like
So the
with the
cops,
company name. So the cops. So it's got like a sticker on it and all of that,
yeah.
all the information. But they still arrested them.
Oh, in the next
So
paragraph
so
as well. Sorry, John.
Yeah. That's right. So
well,
go on.
so what you're telling me about that paragraph is that so it's almost like the cops are saying, "Oh yeah, that's a valid card. I understand. It's good." Right? But then the next paragraph what
Yeah,
says
that's it.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
complete
Billy,
opposite of it.
you want to
So
tell us the next paragraph, Billy? Carry on from there, because everyone's on
So
their seats
meanwhile,
now. You
yeah.
know?
So meanwhile, individuals without valid prescriptions have presented their Cancard believing provides a legal protection, resulting in further criminalisation or legal consequences.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
right?
Basically, yeah. So this confusion is probably dangerous and unacceptable, pretty much. So the founder of PatientsCann UK, patients are being criminalised or dismissed by authorities for following the law just because they don't carry a private membership card that holds no legal weight. Cancard is misleading vulnerable people and eroding trust in what legal framework they already have. In a response to Leafy, Cancard director Sissy Saucy said, "This is our first rodeo 5 years down the line with 98% of police stops resulting in no further action. No further action speaks louder than words." Well, it don't really.
Right?
Accusations like this are the exact reason that cannabis has been stiffed for decades. The tip of the spear always takes the most heat. Our agenda is to grow together. What's theirs? It's just
Hmm.
deflection, really, because it is a con. PatientsCann UK describes itself as a country's independent medical cannabis patients organisation. It's existing to protect patients, promote legal access, and campaign for honesty, transparency, and accountability within the medical cannabis sector. The group encourages anyone affected to contact the police on 101 and quote the appropriate regional references. For Scotland, it's 1611 on the 16th of June 2025. In England and Wales, with the Metropolitan Police, it's CAD number 6670 on the 18th of June 2025. And in Northern Ireland, it's 1239 on the 18th of June 2025. So I suggest if anyone out there has a CAN card, is then to contact the police with this information and also try and find the PatientsCann UK, and then they have obviously information on this and on their website and where to find it, because Cancard is a con. It's just
So
to
okay,
make
so it
money.
seems if I am and obviously this is a short article, but like it almost seems to me like in the beginning this was a good idea to give patients something to be able to show that okay, I'm a medical patient, right?
Yeah, that's the
So
idea. The idea
so
originally was
that
that it actually be signed by your doctor. So then your doctor saying yes.
right,
You know what I mean? So
right.
and had police and local authority like use, but it didn't. That's the
So
issue.
then how did it get turned into this scheme in the sense of like
Because it was a scheme. It was people tried to push it, saying it was going to help when it actually wasn't.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean it's again the way I mean I
It's bribery.
understand.
It's technically it's even bribing the police officer to say, "Oh look, I've got a card. Please, it's a begging card. Please don't. I've bribed someone to then bribe you with."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I don't look at it that way
Only
myself.
Billy can look at it that way, but once he's pointed it
I
out, it makes perfect fucking sense, and he's
right.
right
I
in the way he
understand,
puts
but
it. Yeah.
if the fucking country isn't giving you that, even though they're allowing medical and they're not giving you something to give to the cops if they stop and
Well,
question
you
you and
don't.
somebody
You
else
have
comes
it.
up.
your medication has your name and address and or
Yeah.
what will your has your
but
information on, and they should. If the police then officer arrests you, that's his fault for not lying the law because he should be able to, with that information, find out the law from that information. It's his stupidity and laziness, basically, of not finding out
but
the law himself. So I would rather get arrested without the card, and then I'd get a nice big payout because that is actually my medication. I
right.
wouldn't want to be pushed away
I mean,
if I've got my actual medical cannabis from a pharmacy and that's what I'm carrying about. Then it's like the copper wants to arrest me. It's like then arrest me, copper. Go right a fucking head, or have a nice big
Right.
fucking payout. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Okay.
and then push charges against the police officer as well. If you go in and the police, make them pay for it. And then, then eventually they'll realise just by paying out their own pockets that don't fucking do this. Desk sergeant would be tearing them a piece of shit. Everyone would be tearing that copper's ass off for doing wrong. And that's how you get them in trouble, not by producing a card and trying to scam your way out of it. Oh, please don't arrest me, officer. This is enough. Fuck you. I'm in the right.
Interesting, man. I wonder if we can reach out to anybody and get.
Maybe get PatientsCann dude back on because you had an interview with him, so get him back on and
cool. Yeah,
maybe have to speak about this particular issue.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I'll see what we can sort out. But let's move on to the next one here because we've got some news from the USA, and this is from John. Boom. What were we saying? What the fuck is going on over there? Is it as bad as what we've heard so far? The UK's fucked, Thailand's fucked. What's USA saying?
I don't know. I think we're a little bit better off than that, but now we've got celebs stepping in, possibly for a good thing. So let's, Mike Tyson and other celebs pushed Trump to go further on marijuana than Biden by expanding clemency and enacting rescheduling. I mean, I thought we were already on that wave, but let's see what happens here. A newly formed coalition of professional athletes and entertainers, led by retired boxer Mike Tyson, has sent a letter to President Donald Trump thanking him for the past clemency actions while emphasizing the opportunity he has to best former President Joe Biden by rescheduling marijuana, expanding pardons, and freeing up banking services for licensed cannabis businesses. Mike Tyson has a business in this, right? So of course he's going to be talking to somebody.
Numerous.
Yeah. The coalition of athletes and entertainers supporting President Trump's policy objectives also counts NBA's Kevin Durant and Allen Iverson, NFL's Des Bryant, Antonio Brown, Ricky Williams, the musician Wyclef. Is it John? John. Yeah.
I think it's Jean, ain't it? Wyclef Jean.
Jean. Yeah. And others among its members who signed onto their letter.
Can I just pause you there a sec, John? I like the fact that it's a coalition of actually athletes, first of all, because I think the NBA and the NFL is well, we're actually athletes. So a pinnacle of a career who earn a lot of money, who are now pushing for this. It's a bit different to some stoned out musician, if you know what I mean. It's someone who's been physically.
And you know what, as well, it's like Trump seems to like sports, not performing in them, but watching them. So he's gonna like all these people. He's gonna know who they are,
Right.
He respects the sportsmanship because it's hard to be a basketball player. Not anyone can do, but it's might think, oh, it's only basketball. But well, you fucking play basketball and jump that high and dunk for that time. It's fucking hard work. You be a baseball player and you get to the pinnacle of your career, and just if it was that easy, then everyone would be doing it, wouldn't it? It's so some sportsmen deserve the money they get and the accolade they get for their hard work. So that's what Trump respects, which I can understand that because he respects the 10,000 hours put into something and then you're getting something out of it. So this may actually be something a bit different because of the sports side of things. So right now,
right. A little bit of pull action, I guess you could say. All right, let's go on. Today, people continue to serve lengthy federal sentences for conduct that is now legal in most states, which makes their continued incarceration not only cruel but absurd, the letter says. After making sweeping promises to voters in 2020, former President Biden failed to deliver on his pledge to address marijuana-related injustices. The coalition said not only did he leave office without commuting the sentences of those incarcerated for marijuana, but in one of his final acts, he denied nearly every every pending
Wow.
marijuana related clemency application. That is mental when you
Yeah,
ran
that
on that
is
crap,
crazy. He did
right?
pardon that one guy for drug offenses, though, didn't he? Who was it?
Yeah,
Who was it?
but wasn't that
Hunter
early
Biden?
on?
With
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
true story.
I thought he had pardoned a couple other people in the beginning, but maybe not. Maybe I'm
Well,
thinking something else.
it was some bullshit thing where he was saying anybody who's been locked up for federal possession of cannabis or
Hmm.
something like that, and like three people
With
were released. It made it seem like it was a big thing, but anybody who's in prison federally for cannabis, it's like cannabis is just an add-on crime to illegal possession of a weapon or some other felony crime which
right.
they've committed.
So it's kind of like, but that's how they have to word it to like keep
Mm.
both sides happy, right? It's like we're gonna only let people off that was the only reason they're there. I sold a
Hmm.
pound
Hmm.
of cannabis to my neighbor, they caught me and they threw me in federal prison, right? But not like I did a drive by, they found a pound of weed in the car, that guy has to stay in. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Anyways, continuing on. The athlete said that inaction reflects a betrayal that underscores the urgent need for bold leadership, we believe, and represents an opportunity to correct glaring disparities as part of your administration's ongoing push for criminal justice reform. The letter, first reported by Fox News, also notes clemency actions Trump took in his first term, including the pardoning of Weldon Angelos over a cannabis-related conviction. Angelos has since become a prominent reform advocate who's worked with both the Biden and Trump administrations to expand clemency opportunities. President Trump has shown the courage to use his pardon power to correct injustices in our system, including, in my own case, Angelos told Marijuana Moment on Friday. Yet thousands of people remain behind bars for nonviolent marijuana offenses while the legal industry flourishes. This coalition of athletes, entertainers, and advocates is standing together to call for bold actions, mass clemency for cannabis offenders, cannabis rescheduling, and fair access to banking for legal cannabis businesses. He said, we believe President Trump, alongside Alice Johnson as the new pardon czar, are uniquely positioned to finish the work started during his last administration and finally deliver justice to those still incarcerated and advance meaningful cannabis reform. Further, the coalition made the case that Trump should finalize the process of moving marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act that was initiated under the last administration, but has since stalled out. Marijuana's current classification as a Schedule 1 substance is scientifically outdated, economically detrimental, and at odds with modern medical understanding, they said. Rescheduling marijuana would harmonize federal law with state policies, promote innovation, encourage research, and drive economic growth. Uh, Tyson separately addressed the rescheduling issue during an interview published by the Dales Report on Thursday. He said, I have a strong belief that reclassifying cannabis is possible, more possible than during the last administration. The boxer also said that he feels Trump must be adequately informed about marijuana policy, in part because acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, is educated on this, and she's very acquainted with the president. Tyson, along with Habba, recently toured a Drug Enforcement Administration lab, donning a DEA jacket as I can see him wearing this, as he promoted his marijuana brand's commitment to safety and learned about fentanyl-related issues. I just believe that it's a powerful, powerful revolution going on right now. Tyson said during Thursday's interview, I think we're going to win. I really believe in it. The letter
You're
from
not
the
even going to
coalition
attempt to like
what?
you're not even going to attempt just a little bit to do a Mike Tyson impression there.
No, I can't
Nothing.
do it.
Nothing.
I can't.
Okay.
Would you like to give it a shot? How do
No,
you
no,
feel
I'm not
about
reading the article. This is your article, bro.
it? I'm not doing it.
Otherwise,
I
of
don't want
course,
him
I
to come
would
punch
have.
me or
You
stick a
know.
tiger on me or
No.
some shit.
Yeah, sorry.
I'd sit and
Sorry
chill
to
with him.
interject
He'd
there.
be cool as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. It would be an
You know?
interesting conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure, for sure. I remember playing your game on the Nintendo, buddy. Sorry. The letter from the Coalition of Athletes additionally speaks to the industry's desire to enact reform along state legal cannabis business to access financial services afforded to other traditional markets. State legal cannabis operations, including many of us, have also been unjustly denied banking services despite full compliance with state law. It says, despite operating legally in 40 states, employing over 450,000 Americans, and generating more than $35 billion annually, these businesses face unjust barriers to banking services, and their employees struggle to obtain mortgages from traditional lenders.
Wow.
Ooh-wee, that was a lot. Moreover, cannabis businesses cannot take standard business deductions, leading to effective tax rates, often exceeding 85%, while foreign cannabis companies benefit from listings on U.S. exchanges such as NYSE and NASDAQ. American cannabis operators are unjustly excluded. We fully support your commitment to work with Congress to pass common sense laws, including safe banking, ensuring fair economic opportunities, and equal access to financial services for all American businesses. Other signatories on the letter included NBA's Steven Jackson, Chris Webber Jr., Smith, John Sally, and Al Harrington, as well as NFL's Jim McMahon, Kyle Turley, Champ Bailey, Marvin Washington, and Tony Richardson.
You know who's missing?
What?
Chuck Norris. He would have got the job done.
Oh, don't. No.
That is a very good point, Macky.
About that.
If we get Chuck Norris on a case, then it'd be done tomorrow, wouldn't it?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, is he still there enough? Maybe somebody should talk to him.
How dare you, John?
Oh, that's it.
How dare you?
Listen, I
Of
don't know.
course, Chuck Norris is still there.
Yeah. How dare
Chuck
you
Norris
insinuate anything
always be
differently?
there. Yeah. Better be careful, or
Man.
Chuck Norris will come for you, mate. You're in his country.
Listen,
Better
he can
watch
come.
that knock on
Bring
the
it.
door.
Well, I'm scared, actually.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
know
be
you
okay.
should
It's
be.
just realised what he said, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's fine. He loves me. We're homies. Okay.
Yeah, man. So,
Anyways.
interesting one, eh?
Yeah, it just goes on the same, just talks more about the administration and them about, what they've done.
So, what do you
before.
think, John? Is he going to do it? You think he's been extremely busy over the last few weeks on what I've seen.
He has
Well,
been
well,
busy.
since-
He's still got
for the last
3.5
few months, to be
years
fair.
go.
Yeah. So
You
at some
know?
point, I think there's a chance, but there's always a chance.
I
for
think
anything.
I think at some point he's gonna have to address it.
Hmm.
And again, I watch all the politicians, and it seems to me that everybody's kind of wishy-washy federally on this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It could go both ways. But here's the one thing I just don't understand. They keep pardoning people who only have cannabis related offenses, right? And if there's so many still sitting there, and there's so many that are only for that, why doesn't one of the presidents just come in and go, let them all go then? If I'm going to sit here and only do 3 a year or 3 a term, just let them all go and be done with it.
Well, I don't know, because there's privatized prisons, isn't there? And all those people are making money for some kind
Yeah.
of company or something. There seems to be some other motive behind all of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Stick them all in alligator Alcatraz, mate. That's what I reckon.
Oh boy, here we go.
Not to be controversial or anything.
No,
but
yeah. Thanks for that,
Right,
Billy.
like-
Thanks for
Yeah.
that. You know.
That's all right.
Oh,
No controversy
my God.
around here.
That is fucked though.
Yeah, man. We'll keep an eye on what happens there as well, everybody. We'll
gonna watch
We'll
it.
keep you informed, of course, if there's any federal movement like that in the USA. We'll be telling you all about it. So stay tuned and see if we can get any good news on that in the next coming weeks or months. Let's see what
I
happens.
hope so. I
Mhm.
hope so.
It's
Well,
shit
see
you
what-
can't get a mortgage, innit, really, be honest.
Yeah, that's
Then
bad,
you,
isn't it?
You work for you
Mm.
can't even go ahead with your life. You could be able to buy a nice big house, get a mortgage, but it's like, no, you got to give all your money away to fucking rent all
Yeah,
them years.
yeah.
That's a bit
Mhm.
shit.
And like in that situation, the odd thing is that what the hell does that even have to do with anything with the bank? Because it's not, once it gets to the employee's hands and gets into the bank, that income has nothing to do with the cannabis business, right? Like the feds aren't going to come and take that employee's check out of his bank, right? I mean, I would assume.
Well, you never know, mate. You never know.
You know. Wonder
Yeah,
if
I
you'd
don't
be able
know.
to save up enough in your bank and then say have a cash, and then they're like, well, where did you get the cash from? And then find out your job
Right.
and then still say no.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be fucked.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
it's like, so it's like, it's really unfair, isn't it? In a way, it's like,
Right.
you've got a decent job and you can't take advantage of it.
I mean,
But we
maybe they
should move on.
just...
We should move on because we've been on that article for a while now. We should cover this one quickly about the kid
Okay,
in
go.
Mauritius. Listen to this. This boy, 6, among Brits detained in Mauritius after 1.6 million pounds. That's pounds sterling, not weight, because that's a fuckload of weed. Cannabis haul found in luggage from London Gatwick. The child was stopped by officials at Sir. What the fuck? What? I need to check these articles in more detail
Ahead of
before I
time,
choose them for myself. Right. The child was stopped by officials at Sir Si Wu Sagur Ramgoolam Airport. Nailed it. Alongside 7 other individuals after they disembarked from a British Airways flight from Gatwick. A 6-year-old British boy was detained in Mauritius after customs officials found 14 kilos of cannabis hidden inside his suitcase. What the fuck? Damn.
What?
Yeah, you
By
putting that
himself?
shit in your kid's suitcase is and 6-year-old carrying 14 kilos as well. That's a bit much. Damn.
Bit much. Yeah.
That sounds like his weight allocation.
The child was stopped by officials at Sir Si Wu Sagur and Nicholas in the chat says, I remember when I first had to read Macky. It's not that I can't read, bro. It's just that I have difficulty pronouncing these names that are not easy to pronounce in English. That's all. But most of the time I do reading just fine, you know? Yeah, anyway, the child was stopped by officials at Siwu Sagar Ramgoolam Airport alongside 700 individuals after they disembarked from a British flight from Gatwick on Sunday, according to local media reports. Authorities discovered the group was carrying more than 161 kilograms, that's 355 pounds, of cannabis concealed in their luggage with an estimated value of 1.6 million. Jesus. That they must have been strong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what was saying there, right? 161 kilos has said 7 people. So that's like what, 23, 24 kilograms
that's like 20,
each.
that is basically your allocation for your flight is like 23 kilos.
Oh right, yeah. So that's probably
that's
what,
what,
fucking hell.
Yeah.
They got nothing else. They're taking nothing else with them.
Yeah.
That's weed.
And they've weighed the pounds a person.
Yeah, weighed the suitcase at the end to make sure they're just on the balance.
Damn.
That's just bullshit.
That's crazy. And to put it in the kid's suitcase, that's fucked. But let's quickly move through a bit more of this. 7 of the suspects are British nationals, including the boy, whose luggage reportedly contained 24 packages of drugs wrapped in clear cellophane. The 8 suspects was reported to the Romanian national residing in Britain. Reported to be a Romanian national residing
When they say
in Britain.
British nationals, that means they've got a British passport. They're not exactly English and born here. That basically that.
Okay.
Mauritian authorities described the use of child's luggage to smuggle drugs as outrageous and inhumane, adding this is one of the most revolting cases we have encountered in recent years. The young boy was unaware of the contents of his suitcase, was reportedly flown back to the UK on Wednesday, is now staying with his father. Damn, imagine how much you'd be screwing if your fucking ex-missus gone and put 14 kilograms of weed in your kid's suitcase and you took, wow. And then I assume, it might say in the article, but I assume that the mother is going to be in custody in Mauritius. So did the kid get sent back on his own? Fucking hell. The suspects each had Apple AirTags, which are used to track items via a mobile app, as well as carrying up to £900 in cash. Authorities believe international drug trafficking gangs commonly use these trackers to monitor their illicit shipments. Investigators are reporting treating the group as part of an organised crime network responsible for smuggling narcotics from Europe into Mauritius. Local media outlet Le Mauricien, I don't know, that's French. Okay. I don't read French either. If it isn't in English, I don't read it properly. Local media outlet Le Mauricien reported that 7 of the suspects have been charged with the drug trafficking offences and placed in custody. The adult suspect appeared in Mahaborg Court, located on the island's southeastern coast, on Monday, where all were remanded in pre-trial detention. Following the arrest, authorities conducted targeted raids on hotel accommodating British nationals after receiving intelligence suggesting additional foreign passengers might be involved in transporting drugs. However, no further arrests were made during these operations. Jesus. That's
Okay.
yeah, that's a big
It's a bit
operation.
crazy.
And you know, these guys can do what the fuck they like, man. They're not really doing anything wrong by moving weed here and there. It's, you know, it's only weed, man. It's only weed, but of
Yeah.
course it's breaking the laws in all these different countries. And the thing they did wrong here is by putting weed in that kid's fucking suitcase. You assholes, man. That's bad. 6 years old, and he's had to go, or he or she, I think it was he, you know, had to go through that kind of shit. It just terrible.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Involving the
Moms
child
are
is
right.
Mhm.
they deserve a slap
Piece
for
of
that
work.
Yeah.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
man. Yeah, that's it. Leave kids out of it. You know, that's it. It's like, do the crime if you like, man, but you can't involve the kids. It's like against the fucking rules.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And it's like the mother, she should get an extra long sentence for that. You know, she's going to be locked up
Yep.
anyway. Like, not only are you going to do your sentence, you're going to do your son's fucking sentence as well. You dickhead.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they're gonna.
totally. I
I'm
like
sure they'll
that
tack
idea.
on like child endangerment and all kinds of shit onto it after that too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
too right. All I said in the chat is that the dad's definitely going to get fucking custody now of the kid.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I wouldn't let
She
my
get
6
restraining
it's not
order,
like I have a
everything.
6-year-old, but I've had 6-year-olds. They've all grown up a little bit now. But imagine letting your 6-year-old kid carry a 14-kilo suitcase anyway. Like, man, these people are fucking dickheads. This is absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting. So yeah, I thought I'd bring that one to all of your attention, everybody. Just a little bit of rage bait there. These motherfuckers.
Just want to know one more thing.
What's that?
What was the name of the airport?
Siwusaka Ramgulam. So yeah, after a few
Yes.
warm-up goes, I'm getting it. I'm
You're
getting it.
getting there. You're
That's
getting
right.
it.
That's right. Siwusaka Ramgulam Airport.
Sounds like you're
That's
singing
right.
a song from the 70s.
Fucking my
Yeah.
furniture just started
Oh, Black
floating.
Betty,
You know.
Bam blam.
You know, the carpet started flying. Did you
Yeah.
see it? Anyway, so we have one from. You want to talk about the one from Jersey there, Billy?
Yeah, I suppose I
Joyzy.
do.
Joycey.
Well, trust Macky to send me to read out this fucking BBC cunt. Fucking
That's right.
yeah. Anyway, he sent me that to read out, so I just had to say that they're cunts because the BBC are cunts.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are.
Just in case you didn't know.
Flag, flag,
they
flag,
are.
flag,
Flag.
flag.
Fliggity
Right.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So neighbours of a Jersey medical cannabis farm have said that the site have stopped them from enjoying their homes. Oh, that's a shame. isn't it?
Really?
Yeah. So the States of Jersey Complaints Panel upheld a complaint over how the Infrastructure and Environment Department handled residents' complaints about the noise and smells coming from the Northleaf Farm in St Lawrence. So Roger Nightingale, nice easy name there, eh, Macky? He lives next to the
Fuck off.
site. So Roger Nightingale, as I said earlier, who lives next to the site, said that the noise emitted from the farm was so intrusive, it meant that him and his partner, Penny Bromley, I hope I can pronounce that correctly, could not sit in their garden.
Fucking hell.
So-
How many more dicks, Billy? Jeez, how many more
Yeah.
dicks, man? Fuck.
Oh,
But I'm
wait,
just
there's
going to
another
add
name.
there, Roger Nightingale is his name, but his partner is Penny Bromley. Seems like an old fella, but he's not married. This is his mistress.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I don't
yeah.
think it's the fucking cannabis farm keeping him awake. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
yeah. Good point. Good point. They're well spotted, Macky. Yeah. So the environment minister, Steve Luce, said that the government strongly rejected the panel's findings and put a lot of resource into the issues highlighted. The BBC has approached the Northern Leaf for comment. So they reckon horrendous whirling. Mr. Mr. Nightingale said that a low-level noise from the farm was aggravating to deal with. So it's probably the sound of the fans going woo, woo,
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
woo, woo. Yeah, everyone hates that noise after a while. You can't sit in the garden for a length of time. He said there is a low-level noise. It gives you headaches, so you can't even have the windows open. It's really intrusive and affects your lifestyle. Ms. Bromley. So they're not
Oh,
married.
look, man, another
Ms.
clue.
Look, see, Ms. Bromley. There you go. Ms. Bromley done it in the what is it? Oh, I can't
In the
remember
garden,
name
by
of
the
it.
sound of it,
Yeah,
with an
done it in the
intrusive
garden
object.
With an intrusive object. There you go, Macky. You know where I was going with the Cluedo reference.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
always going
Yeah.
intrusive object, bro. I know what you
Yeah,
like.
exactly. So she said that the issues are horrendous whirring sound from the farm had forced her to spend more time away from Jersey. Well, you don't have to really leave Jersey, the old island, do you? You can
I
just all right
mean.
go to the next village or something, down to the seaside,
You would
maybe.
think.
Get the sounds of like seagulls crapping on you and stealing your food and
Yeah,
shit.
it's definitely
right?
definitely the fans. If you look at her in the picture there, her
Oh, right,
hair's
yeah.
windswept.
Oh, look at that,
You know,
yeah.
It's all blown
Yeah.
backwards out of her face like that. Poor woman. Poor woman.
I mean,
She
does
reckons
look
she
like a
can't
lady of the
enjoy it
night.
at all.
You can't say that, John. Gosh.
Oh, John,
Gosh.
that's well bad. That's wrong. Even I wouldn't say
Terrible.
that.
Gosh.
Oh shit!
Even though you'd want to see her at night in an alleyway but that's just me. The panel said the government had taken too long to deal with complaints from residents. What? The government had
Okay.
taken too long to. The government always take too long to complain. It's like,
Yeah, what do you
It
expect?
depends,
what
mate.
what do
It
they
depends.
expect? I suppose depending on how much money you got to and what
Well,
envelope.
and it
to
also
complain with.
depends, what you say on the internet, because they can
Yeah,
respond
exactly.
pretty quickly to some of those
Yeah,
complaints.
that's
Yeah.
true. Actually, yeah. Then we get like 31 months, didn't you, and shit like that.
Mhm.
It's also criticised the government's use of unjust sniff tests to decide whether cannabis odours from the farm were a problem. Yeah, we
I'm
know
not
sort of
touching that.
sniff test, like yeah,
I'm not touching that.
sniff that.
Yeah, I mean,
innit?
is that still fresh?
they hand you a cloth. Yeah, sniff that. You'd be like,
I mean,
handing you
quick
white
sniff
powders,
test. Yeah, just
sniff
turn
that,
it inside out. It's okay for another day,
Oh,
Maybe that's
We
what
need-
they're doing in Parliament. They're doing all the sniff tests there. Like, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't a white powder. I was just doing
I mean-
a sniff test.
Oh, is that cocaine? Let me smell it and find out.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Listen,
Oh,
this is why we have Margaret
could have
around to
been.
wrangle
Oh,
us
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Gosh, yes. Thank you for that, John.
Oh.
Sorry, Billy. You want to continue
no
with
problem.
the article? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, John took us on a tangent there. It's his fault.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to know whether the sniff test was odours were a problem. And Ms. Bromley, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, added that the panel's comments have made complaints like her feel vindicated, although she questioned whether it would make much difference overall. Well, it's not, is it? If it's still carrying on, like they've acknowledged that it might be an issue.
Hmm.
Well done. I think the farm's either got to be closed down or the noise has to be stopped, she said. Well,
Wow.
we'll soon find out,
Okay.
won't we? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Deputy Hilary Jayoun, chair of the environment.
Yes. Fuck you, Billy.
Housing and
Say that again.
infrastructure.
Go back. You didn't say it properly, mate. Fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Deputy Hilary Jayoun, chair of the Environment, Housing and Infrastructure Scrutiny Panel, said that the complaints had made it clear the island needed an independent public service of ombudsman. So he's going to earn a bit of money there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
We have seen the panel uphold the complaints, but the government has pushed back on the recommendations, she said. The panel doesn't have any power to go further than that. Well, there you go. Conclusion over, innit?
Mhm.
So, in response to the panel's findings, Chief Officer of the Infrastructure and Environment, Andy Skates, said the government completely refute the suggestion that the department acted contrary to the law or behaved in any way that was unjust. Lou said the government had put in thousands of hours of work for years to deal with the issues from residents' complaints about the farm. Unfortunately, we are in a process which becomes protracted and involves appeals courts and a whole range of things, he said, but we have to be fair on both sides. So basically it's going to sit in the courts for ages.
I
Yeah.
think these people are right though. This is their home, and
Yeah.
they would have been there longer than the cannabis farm has been there. So they're sitting there, they're enjoying their retirement in a fucking nice place in Jersey with his mistress, And then they suddenly built this fucking huge greenhouse, this farm, and now he just has to sit there listening to fucking wind or fans blowing all the time.
Noise-free fans is what they should have completely. It is bullshit, but it's like it's a case of like, well,
I get it.
What can you do? Yeah, it's us against them case, isn't it? It's like shouldn't shut the cannabis farm down, but they should get.
Yeah, they got to figure something
noise.
out here.
Yeah.
But as usual, they just throw it up and don't think about the residents in the area. You know, they should have taken this into consideration before they built the thing. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They say they did, but it's like, well, obviously you didn't because you didn't install like completely silent fans, which they obviously have nowadays. They'd be able to do.
And they said they went around doing the sniff test, didn't they? They said they went around doing the sniff test to see if they could smell cannabis, but the complaint was the noise of the fans, not the smell of the cannabis, right?
And the smell in the beginning. I think they said it, and the smell.
But I assume they got more fans in it. It's made more noise.
Yeah.
I gotta assume it's got to be like cooling fans and stuff, not actual fans. Because
it's got to be like pumping the air outside, isn't it? Yeah, extraction.
It's got to be the circulation and extraction fans. I assume it's like massive extraction fans on the roof.
Right.
So like, and then it's the sound noise is just then vibrating across, so you just get like this constant. Boom, boom, boom,
so at my house, up until about 2 years ago, I had a grain elevator literally a block away. And in the summertime when the fans are running, like keeping the bins dry, you know, like I understand what they're saying because that happened here for my whole life, man, until they took it down 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it's different. I think it's different when it was there when you moved in. It's like, you know, it's there. It's part of you moving in there. You make that deal in the first place when you move in. Like, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to get comfortable with this shit. But for people who had a nice, quiet back garden which they could relax in, and now all of a sudden just hear for the whole fucking time.
I mean, I totally understand what they're saying. Like, I get it for sure, man. I can understand. So
me and Macky got our fan sounds damn good anyway. At least we can pronounce the sound of the fan all right.
Yeah, man. I said you just need to add some boots and cats in there. We can fucking start beatboxing. See that? Whoa.
We should start a band, guys.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, man. YouTube's gonna flag us for copyright there. Fuck.
Yeah,
so good. You know?
We can call our band Boots and Cats.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm a DJ. I'm just remixing stuff. It's fine.
DJ Boots and Cats. There we go.
Oh, shit. That has to be a thing.
Yeah, man, so let's quickly get this last one over and done with then. We got some news from Australia. This is for you, John.
Yeah. I know nothing about Australia really, except for kangaroos and big ass spiders, but we're gonna tackle this. So the New South Wales politicians say cannabis decriminalization inevitable after report points to unequal systems, everybody. New South Wales government members have suggested cannabis reform is inevitable in the state after a parliamentary inquiry found the current regime is discriminatory because people with means can obtain medical cannabis legally while others are criminalized. The NSW Upper House inquiry released its landmark report into the effectiveness of cannabis regulation last week. The recommendations to decriminalize and consider a legalization were backed by 6 of the 7 committee members, including Labor, Liberal, and crossbench legislative council members. 1 Liberal member voted against the recommendations. The committee chaired by the Legalized Cannabis Party, MLC, Jeremy Buckingham, got it, nailed it, recommended the Minns government.
This is so unfair.
The maximum 2-year custodial sentence for people found with a small quantity of cannabis and instead replace it with a fine. The report said NSW should decriminalize personal use and possession of cannabis. The government should then engage in a staged process of reform and review and consider legislating to legalize the use of cannabis by adults in a manner that eliminates the illicit market so far as is possible and creates a safe, regulated, and accessible statewide market for the legal cannabis. The Labor MLC's Stephen Lawrence and Cameron Murphy, nailed it again, who were part
so
of
incredible,
the committee.
John. You are a wordsmith at this point. Wow.
Oh, beautiful. negative. Committee said the decriminalization and potential legislation of cannabis was inevitable because all MLCs except one voted for the recommendations. Lawrence, who moved for the recommendations to be included in the report, said the cross-party support showed the community has moved on from some kind of shock horror reaction to cannabis. Yes. The evidence in the inquiry shows the advantage have designed a system where they are allowed to smoke their easily obtained medical cannabis, often for recreational purposes, while we punish the rest sometimes harshly, the Labour MLC told Guardian Australia. The only question is how soon Australian government actually lead on the issue, not if. That I didn't like that at all. The report offers a pathway that can be careful, gradual, and bipartisan. The Premier, Chris Minns, spoke in favor of legalizing cannabis in 2019 while in opposition, but has backpedaled since winning office, saying the government doesn't have a mandate to do so and is not on Labor's agenda. A spokesperson for the Attorney General this week said the government was considering the report's recommendation. The committee found that while the widespread availability of medical cannabis in New South Wales via a prescription from a GP was welcome, it was facilitating widespread non-medicinal use of cannabis. This highlights the inequitable and arbitrary nature of the current criminalization of cannabis, whereby the criminal status of a person now depends on their capacity to obtain a prescription from a doctor, the report stated. So is it like really hard? Like it almost sounds like it's really hard to get it in certain places. Is that what the problem is here? Is that what you're picking up?
I have no idea. I don't know.
We're going to have to ask Viking about this maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The inquiry found that irrespective of the merits of decriminalization and legalization, the maximum 2-year prison penalty for being found in possession of a small quantity of cannabis
2 years
was absurd, draconian, and antiquated. I wonder what they consider a small quantity. You know what I mean? This degree of criminalization, which has persisted for many decades, is irrational and an affront to the community's sense of justice and can be remedied by the parliament in a way consistent with the policy position of the government. The committee found the presence of cannabis in a person's system did not necessarily indicate a person was impaired. The report stated that criminal regulation of cannabis had not achieved its aim of reducing use and that decriminalization in other jurisdictions had not led to a material increase in use. Murphy told Guardian Australia the two-tier justice system when it came, the two-tier justice system when it came to cannabis use was a significant concern. See, I can't say regular words apparently. I believe there's.
I was gonna say, at least I can fucking pronounce all the normal words, John.
Jesus, man, Jesus. I believe there's a widespread community support reflected in the committee to remove personal use quantity cannabis possession offenses from the criminal law, he said. I think that's it right there.
I think that's it, yeah.
So,
just seeing Viking in the chat there, who is from Australia. He says this is his home state, and he said, give me a fucking mic, and you'll hear a rant and a half about this poppet ass prick. Brilliant, brilliant. Thanks for your input there, Viking. We appreciate you, bro.
Yes.
And we also had, just randomly reading out the comments here. Where was it? Fucking from that guy. Every week I come here to remind myself how lucky I am to live in Canada. Thanks, Jane Gangster. I'm glad we could be of service. You know, you think you got it bad, bro?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. But this is progress, at least, right? I would think so.
It sounds like it. I mean, but it must be there different, right? Like per each, what do they call them? States or provinces, right? They have their own rules and regulations for cannabis use, I'm guessing.
I don't know. What are you saying, Billy? Would you haven't said much about this one?
That's because it's really fucking dumb, and it's just more dumb shit coming from dumb people, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
So I'll probably
yeah.
I'll end up doing the rant that Viking wants to do. So yeah, imagine
Mhm.
that in an Australian accent, dumb cunts. basically.
Yep.
Yeah, pain in the ass, man. But yeah, Vikings should
It
jump
is.
in sometime and tell us about some shit that's going on in Australia. But it's
Mhm.
just ridiculously early for him. It's like 6 o'clock or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Whatever the WEF
Cookie
decides
too,
for
yeah.
us, John. Yeah, I know that feeling there, Viking. I think most of us do.
Yeah,
Crazy
I don't
times.
know much about it, so it's
Yeah.
it would be nice to hear from some of those guys too
Mhm.
when a story like this comes up.
So yeah, man. There's news this week, everybody. 6 news articles
Mhm.
there. So if you are traveling somewhere and you've got cannabis, don't put it in your fucking kid's suitcase because that would be a really dickhead kind of move.
Right.
Yeah, Australia is looking like it's going to do some good shit, and the UK still in the Stone Age. No signs of moving.
And party with Mike Tyson.
That's right. Looks like the States might be moving something forward if they can convince Trump to do something about it. So yeah, reasonably good. I think it was all round good news this week. There's not much forum news, I don't think. The vote for the plant of the month is open and closing soon. So if you haven't voted, make sure you get over there and vote.
One more day.
But yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Anything else for the news?
I don't think so.
No, I think that's about it.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go smoke break then. We ready for smoke break?
Smoke break.
Yeah, man.
Bring it.
Let's do it. There's some crazy shit, man. There we are. We're on smoke break now, so we can relax a little bit, everybody. Calm down.
Really calm down.
Now. That's right. Chill for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to text the missus and see if she can bring me sort of more Lipton iced tea.
I've got a nice Dr. Pepper here.
Oh, you love that Dr. Pepper shit, bro.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's better than fucking Coke anyway.
I mean, I do love a Coke, but it's got to be ice cold, and either it's got to be in like one of those old school red plastic cups with the crushed ice, or it's got to be ice cold straight out of a can.
Yeah, ice cold Dr. Pepper is better.
Because you don't get glass bottles anymore.
Why don't you just keep a glass in the freezer or in the fridge?
It's pronounced glass, Billy. Glass.
Yeah, glass.
Bottle. Yes, I said.
Yeah.
What was that? Gloss?
Yeah, glass.
Are we varnishing a table?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, anyway.
I do love the post
fucking
over at the forum, everybody.
The post. What are you on about? It's the post, John.
The post.
Goddamn.
Hold on, let me go make a post real quick. On the forum.
We're not getting into this again, John. We're not doing it. It's not going to happen. We're gonna move on. Who's that in the chat there? I like Coke when you mix it with rum. Yeah, it's better to just snort the Coke, mate, and drink the rum. I think it's better in that order.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's really made a comeback.
Yeah, no,
really
I haven't done that for a long time, man. It's been a long time, and I don't think I
me
would
too,
nowadays.
but...
I think I'm too old for it, you know.
Yeah. I'm with you there, but I hear more and more about it all the time.
Yeah,
it's retarded.
And Viking said there, the last compost debate was epic. And let me just, in case many of you wasn't there because it was in the Patreon session, but we had the discussion about like who is correct.
What?
And it broke down. We're in the fucking group. The group chat just opened up having this discussion. And we managed to break it down. About 6 of us in the group chat, right, was calling it compost. Like normal people. And then 2 people, the American guys, was calling it compost. Compost. That's what they was calling it.
It's not my fault that we were like, it was a seriously biased room. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you're saying that, Johnny. You just got to accuse us of biases like that?
Listen, I think we need to start DEI in it or something.
Let's ask CNN. They're not biased.
However, who was it that said it? Was it Viking that said that he looked it up on...
Yeah, but you can look at it on ChatGPT, which is an American-based thing. And we went through the discussion of...
Sorry, Viking.
You know, us guys here, in England, we speak English. In America, you speak English. In Australia, you speak English. So when you want to learn how to say a fucking word in English, you ask the fucking Englishman. You know what I'm saying?
We
know what I'm
don't speak
saying?
English. We speak American.
That's right. We speak
Beautiful.
freedom.
It's the same way. It's the same way as Spain and Mexico for their Spanish. I'm just throwing that shit out there right now.
No,
Okay.
ain't they different?
Yeah, they're no, it's still Spanish, but they have their differences, right?
Right. Yeah,
That's the
still
way it is, man.
still doesn't mean that you're pronouncing compost correctly.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you over here.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
But
not
look,
my
we
fault.
fucking-
It's the school education.
How much
okay?
time have we wasted having this fucking discussion over all the different sessions which we have, and come back to discussing how compost is supposed to be pronounced?
It's obviously
Jesus.
important. Okay, it's
It is.
important to
It
the
is
people.
important. Yeah, we do need to get to the end of it eventually and figure out which is the correct way to say it.
42. Oh shit.
That's right.
42, everybody.
How's that whiskey, John? Did you drink it all?
I still have a little bit. I've been sipping on it the whole time.
Nice. Yeah, I've got just a little bit left here as well.
It's actually been sitting out, and now the burn has kind of gone away since it's been airing, and that sweet is coming out.
Need
I
to...
do like a good whiskey. Man.
Are you here, Billy?
He's dead.
No, I went somewhere else for a minute.
Right.
I
Let
am.
me know when you get back.
I'll be right back.
Let me know when you get back.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'll let you know in a minute.
Yeah, and
One
Viking said there as well, the word posture was that blew it wide open. That's right, because you talk about compost and you're going compost because P-O-S-T is pronounced as post. But it isn't though, is it, John? We determined that posture is also P-O-S-T. And what pronunciation does say posture for me there, John?
See,
No?
John's gone now. Yeah,
No?
see, he's away from the mic.
He
AFK'd.
refuses to play this silly game with us, I think.
He's muted himself. He knows he's lost because he's an American, and they're just big losers. It's definitely gone now. I've said that. Loser. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah,
definitely
Mike,
gone.
drop and walk off. Don't encourage him, Viking.
Yeah.
You're a terrible
Yeah.
influence, you are, Viking. Fuck, you know. Jesus, man. Right, just waiting here, waiting to get some iced tea. But yeah, we're going to be talking about keeping the grow room cool and also VPD because that's an important factor as well. I don't want people freaking out because it's getting really warm. I don't want to be like, oh man, it's so warm, my plant's going to be so unhappy. We want to discuss some things to make it easier for you all. Yeah, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Yeah. So we was talking about posture out there, John. How the word posture was pronounced. Can you say posture for me?
Posture.
That's right. Now, can you
What do
say
you want from me?
composture?
That's not a word.
No, but just say. Can you say the words, the syllables? They have a
Composture.
No, say it
But
as a
that's
one word.
again,
Don't break it down like that.
Composture.
There we go.
Composture.
That's
But
right.
you made a word, so of course I have to say it. That
Yeah, but now because I have the ability to edit, I'm gonna go and clip that out, and it's just gonna say compost, and then I'm gonna go drop it on every single time you say compost, and people are gonna be like, "What is he? What did they even talk about?" He's saying it exactly the same way Macky's saying it. What am I?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, you dicks.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh,
So
my God.
there's another one there. Is it schedule or schedule? Yeah.
That's right. He's English. He
yeah,
can make
see?
up words. That's right. That's right. Hold on. My
right.
iced tea's here, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
thank
see.
Yes.
Let's
Thank
listen
you,
to him
Mrs.
beg.
Macky.
Beg
She
to
can't
Mrs.
hear. She
Macky.
can't hear. She
I know
sneaks
she
in
can't. I
because
was just throwing it
so,
out there.
so professional. There you go, everybody. Let's
Uh-huh.
pour that glass of iced tea there. Delicious. Fucking love iced
I'm
tea.
not gonna lie. I almost was gonna come back and be like, "Yes, I just popped back from the loo."
Composter. Yeah, would you call it, John? Composter.
Composter.
That sounds fucking weird, man.
Here's.
In it.
God damn it, man! It's because there's.
Sounds retarded.
It doesn't have that stupid extra letter behind it, vowel behind it that changes the word, kind of like color.
Then Rodzilla in the chat there said,
Yeah, it's aluminium.
aluminum.
Yes.
Or
No, it's
aluminium.
aluminium.
No, it's
Aluminium.
actually
You
guys
it's
spell it
actually
like that,
two
that's
different.
why.
That's right. Yeah, it's two different ways of the word being actually written and pronounced.
Yep,
On our
yep.
side, it is aluminium for us, but when it's written in American English, it's aluminum.
Yeah. Same with color and flavor and whatever.
Yeah, that's
As in
just
your
lazy.
extra letters.
You know, no, you gotta put a U in there
For what?
to make the hour sound.
Nobody cares at this point. Like, we just make words up and throw letters in everywhere that don't even have sounds at all.
That's right.
So what?
It's like how can we make English language easier? I know, you know the word collar? Just take the U out. You
Yeah.
just don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. Quicker,
So many other
easier
ones.
to write down. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
It's because
In
it's
the-
for stupid people who can't write properly.
Well,
Compost.
and like, who the hell comes up with these words anyway? Some asshole
know,
back in
right?
the day, and they're like, "Oh, there." How many?
You know,
Why?
I've thought about that sometimes. You know, when I'm,
pair.
you know, when you're super high and you just think about crazy things, and I've thought about it in the
Yeah.
past where, like, who was the first guy to be, like, communicate, like, pointing at a stone, like, pointing at how his mouth moves, stone, like, I'm gonna call this, hasn't even got the words to say, I'm gonna call this. He just has to point at me like, stone. But it wouldn't have been stone. It would have been some different one, you know.
Did you see the AI video of the caveman making the first wheel, bro?
Oh no, I didn't. What did he turn it into a pole, a strip
Yes,
pole?
yes,
All right, yeah,
yes.
that's an old video. I don't think that's AI.
I think it was remade with the AI.
Okay.
Yeah. I seen it the other day and I was like, oh my Jesus. These are getting out of hand, bro.
Yeah, man. Good shit. I like the AI content. It's funny.
It is hilarious.
But with that, are we ready to talk about some fucking? Right, it's 4:20. Let's smoke.
Talk
forgot
about
what
some
we're talking
fucking.
Yeah, I was gonna
Man,
say more
whoa,
after
whoa,
that.
whoa.
Jesus, calm down,
Mhm,
lads.
mhm.
Gosh.
Oh, right.
I know it's Pride Month and Margaret isn't here, but you know we
Oh,
don't roll like that.
but
you know?
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I blew up.
Nah, yeah, it blew
Anyway.
up. Nah.
Just gonna
That's
eat
right,
this.
that's right.
Just gonna eat this mighty. No, I'm just gonna hit
No,
this
I-
mighty. Just gonna eat it. Yes.
Hold
Can
on,
I ask a
everybody.
grow
Ooh,
question? Yeah, you can. Yeah, just ask a grow question. Has the secret group gone? Cornerstone. What? Cornerstone was in the
No.
secret group, wasn't he? He was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in there. No, it's still there.
His
I'll
Vikings
just
renamed
double
it.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Devious Maximus now.
Yep. Somebody ping
Yeah.
him. Somebody
No,
ping
you're
him.
still there.
Yeah, it's
I've
still there.
pinged him. Yep, just
That's
pinging
right.
him now. There you go, Cornerstone.
Boom.
When using drippers with cocoa, should I lower feed strength if I'm not watering to run off? Yes, you should. That's about it.
When using
But you
drippers
need to
with
water to
cocoa,
run off,
the
though,
lower
bro.
feed
You need
strength
to-
of not watering to run off. Yes. Yeah. I would still do runoff.
Yeah,
but,
same.
I mean, if you can't, then it's,
Mhm.
I guess you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and if you are going to run off, you don't need to reduce the EC. It's just you should really get that run off because otherwise there's going to be unused salts anyway in the cocoa.
Yeah.
And it's going to build up over time. So you want to at least, I mean, you can do these lower feeds now and again, but then you want to give them a flush every week or so to wash anything that's built up out. That's what I would do. Yeah.
I feel like the problem with drippers though, like, because I have some too, is if you do that right, and then you decide. So say you run strength newts through it for a week, and then you decide, oh, I'm just gonna give it a good flush using the drippers. I feel like the drippers are just gonna sit there, and it's not gonna flush the actual media. It's gonna kind of just go in and kind of go down. It's not really gonna get everything out.
Yeah, got some tip
That's
burn,
my take on it.
and that's what got some tip burn, and was thinking that's why it might be. We shouldn't look into it too much because we should really do that on the in the listener mail. But yeah, it just might be EC spikes from letting medium dry out if you're not watering it enough. That's
Right.
all. But for now, let's talk about keeping a grow room cool and also VPD and all of that kind of shit. Let's go. Yeah, so for us up in the northern hemisphere here, it's summertime. It's getting warm, and yeah, it's a bit shit. So, well, it's a bit shit if you're growing plants and you're using certain kind of lights. But it's
in
like I love the heat. I love the heat in the daytime, but when nighttime comes around and I can't sleep, it's just it makes me really consider whether I like it or not. Like maybe autumn is the best season. It's like, no, it's not. Fucking summer's so good because I just love the fucking hot days so much, man. But I just can't
except
sleep
for
at
in your
night.
house.
Yeah,
I mean, they got a fix for that.
air conditioning.
Yes,
Yeah, you know how much it is to install over here? Like 500
dude, do it
quid.
yourself.
500 quid. You can't do it yourself. That's crazy. For I ain't trained.
What?
But yeah, air
It's
conditioning.
literally
Air
plug it into
conditioning.
the wall, bro.
Damn,
What?
Jeff said it's 5 degrees C over there. Yeah, it's terrible. We're hitting days of like
Bro.
28, 30 degrees C. And it's
Yeah,
just, it's
yeah.
so nice, man. It's so nice. But it's not nice for the plants. The plants can get a little bit, especially if you got certain bulbs, like if you run HPS, HID lighting, that produces a lot of heat. That's going to add to the already hot air around the tent, and it can get really warm. And I wanted to cover this for one, to help you keep your grow room cool. But also, when people start growing, they think like, oh my gosh, my plant has gone over 26 degrees C. It's going to die now. And it's just not the case. I've seen cannabis plants growing happily all the way up to 38 degrees C. And there's no sign of heat stress. And they're just fucking loving it and doing their thing. And you can just think sometimes that it's a lot more stress for the plant than what it actually is. These plants can really deal with a lot of shit, man. So I want to just offer people reassurance for the episode, because there's going to be people out there growing right now where it's all fucking, it's too hot and they're stressing every day. Oh no, what am I going to do? You're going to be fine. Don't worry. And we'll explain how you can reduce the temps as much as possible. But yeah, essentially, you're going to be fine. It won't get too warm. They'll love it. Just treat them right. So where do we even begin with this, man? It's do you want to talk about heat stress and shit first, John? You want to talk about that?
Sure. So what is it? Cannabis plants thrive in temperatures between, like we were talking, 20 to 28 C, and for us, freedom units, 68 to 82 during the day. Anything above 30 C, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, starts to stress them out. Prolonged heat can lead to foxtailing, and if you've never seen it, it looks just like that. Poor bud development and slower growth, and in severe cases, wilting or death.
So he's
Now,
already trying to scare you.
I'm sorry. Foxtailing, I think, is kind of cool, and I feel that like some of the strains I've grown naturally do it.
Yeah, and because some do as well. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah,
it might just be a genetics thing, but it does come from heat stress.
Kind
as
of
well.
watch it. That might throw you off a little bit. It might not actually be heat stress. It might actually just be doing it naturally. You know. What I mean? But it is a sign, though, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And then how to spot it, you're going to get leaves that are going to start to taco or curl up. So just imagine taking both your hands, putting them together, and folding them up,
Like you were drinking water out of them.
The leaf will do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's called canoeing. Because it looks like a taco, but it's called canoeing amongst the grow community here. Yeah. So if your leaves are canoeing, like curling up, little canoe on each of those blades, then that's heat stress.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, like I said, growth is going to slow down. Pistils will start browning earlier than expected. And you may notice light green or yellowing at the top of the plant. So like, what do they call that? White,
light bleaching.
Yeah, light bleaching. Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah.
So when, because you're saying you're getting these really warm temps where you are now, John, right?
Yep. And it was pretty warm.
And you're growing as well.
These numbers. Yep, I'm growing upstairs, but I run mine at night.
Right.
So my lights are on at night, so hopefully it's a little cooler outside. But I still run air conditioners. I'm pumping air conditioners all day long upstairs.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Billy, you're growing still, aren't you? You never stop. You're always going.
Yeah, I'm still growing.
So what are you doing to keep your plants cool? Is it getting warm in there?
I'm quite lucky that I don't have to worry about that too much with the size of my tent and where my house is positioned. So I'm sort of just a little bit lucky that it doesn't get hot enough, especially with the LEDs now, that it doesn't get too hot for me to really worry about it. So I just tend to make sure that in the summer I don't have loads of flowering plants or massive ones completely like covering the whole tent. Just gives it, I just make sure it's got a little bit more, one less plant with a little bit more air circulation, and it does fine. I don't
Nice.
have no issues.
Yeah, they handle
Nice.
it, man. They handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so one of the best ways you can keep the grow room cool is, as Billy already mentioned, that you can use LED lights instead of the HID lights. You know, and that's going to make a big difference with the amount of heat in the grow room anyway. But you have to get that hot air out of the room and exhausted away from it so it doesn't get put back in. And then you bring in fresh, cool air, and that's you know, just pretty simple air exchange is a nice way to keep the temperatures down. You know, is that what you're doing, John? You're putting in from the room and then just venting outside or something?
Yep. So I push AC air into the room, and then I
Nice
exhaust out the window. Yeah. It's the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't, like, if you're in like me, I can, I guess, vent outside. Somebody else who maybe lives where it's not legal might have to vent inside. That might be a little bit tougher doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, man. And that's it. You have to get the air away from the tent. If it's recycling round and round, and it's just gonna get fucking warm. It's gonna store in all that heat, and it will store moisture as well, which can make things even worse.
Right.
So good exhausting is the way to go, and obviously air movement as well. You got to keep them fans in the tent, making sure that there's plenty of air movement. If it gets too warm and it gets too still, then you're gonna get mold arising. The plant's not gonna be able to breathe properly because the air's too thick. So making sure that air is moving all the time, that's gonna help as well. So even though the plants, the tent might be on 32, 33, 35 degrees. It doesn't necessarily mean the plants are going to be suffering if the fans are running and the humidity's at the right level, which is part of VPD, which we'll get to a little bit later. Yeah, man. Keep that air moving. It's so important. Keep the air moving. Don't let any air pockets build up, you know?
Right.
Billy, you want to talk about aircon, Billy, and cooling devices? What are you using? You just using your fans? You're not adding any?
I just have a fan for myself, but I have my fans bouncing off the wall of the tent, so it sort of bounces around from the corners and then back into the tent, so it's not going directly onto the plants from the thing. So it just circulates the air rather than anything, which is what it's there for, really. It's not there. So to cool stuff really is a bit difficult, I think, to be honest.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's
well for us in the UK at least, because we just don't have aircon. Like John says, he has aircon in all of his rooms and stuff. It's like a normal thing for some people, but us in the UK, we don't have that privilege.
So unless you've got portable air conditioners and things like that, then it's all like more something you've just got to deal with. So again, if it's environmental is where it's also where you live, isn't it? So it's like you say, we live in two different countries here, so we have different issues completely. So you've got the coolers, isn't it? The evaporative coolers, basically, which I don't think really work that well either, to be honest.
Yeah, just letting cool smoke out because it's just getting extracted so fast as well, isn't it?
Yeah, if you've got good extraction, then you're getting all the cool air extracted. So it's like, might as well just place a bag of ice on the floor, in it, really, same thing. So it's like that's probably about as good as you can get in the UK. Just place a bag of ice, or ice in a bucket, maybe, if you want to cool it down a bit. But then that creates more moisture. So it's
really double-edged sword. There's not really much you can do.
If you do, damned if you don't.
This is why back when I used to grow throughout the summertime, I took my thermometer out my tent. It got to a point where I was just getting soaked because it was never below 26. It was never. It's always. I was running my lights at night and everything, and it was still fucking massively over. Well, not say massively, but when you're new to growing, you don't know what the fuck is really happening. 1 degree feels massive. It's 27. Right. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? So in the end, because there's nothing I could do about it, I couldn't go out and buy an aircon. It already used all the fans I can use. There's nothing I can do but watch it rise. And I really, I didn't know what to do, just stressing over it. So I was like, I'm just gonna remove the fucking thermometer. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. And in situations like that, if it's stressing you out too much and there's nothing else you can do, take the fucking thermometer out. It's done. Dude. You know what I mean? What else can you do? What else can you do? Don't stress about it, man. So one of these ways, and it's easier now, right? when you grow in nowadays, you can use these LEDs, and if you get a real efficient one, something from like HLG, these top end brands that are so efficient, you barely even get any heat coming off the light nowadays. It's crazy shit compared to what we used to have with the HIDs, the HPS, the 600 watt HPS at summertime. This is why
Forget
people
about it.
stop growing. Yeah, it's like just not gonna even be dealing with that much heat. Crazy amount of heat. You can do it still, you can do it, but it's gonna be a little bit more troubling because it gets really fucking warm. So people used to stop growing over the summertime. But now with the LEDs that we have, like I say, these efficient ones, fire them up instead, and it's going to get warmer, but it's going to be like 3 or 4 degrees difference rather than 10 to 15 degrees difference. And that's Celsius as well. So that shit adds up, man. It gets hot with them HPS. So picking the right light is a good option, because if you're using a good LED, I think you can still grow throughout the summertime now. I think you'll be all right. You'll get a little bit warm, but it won't be too much. But if you do have like HPS, HID, it would be better to either skip it out or get some of these hoods you can get.
Options.
Yeah, you like cooling tubes.
All the air hoods.
Yeah, where the bulb goes inside a tube or a hood, and then air's vented straight in and straight out. But then you just set that up properly. You're linking up a different extractor. So you can go, you're just dealing with air from the light, and then there's air from the tent. That's separate. And that's one way you can keep it down if that's an issue. But that's even more money. So you might as well just get a decent LED,
Yeah.
Damn. We've got Billy the Kid in the chat says 2 times 600s in 2.4s all day long. Wow, bro. Wow.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's warm, bro. That's warm. But as we like to say, there's many ways to go swimming with a cat and all that. Yeah. So you do you, man. If it's working, it's working. Go for it. Yeah. And John mentioned as well here with he briefly mentioned that he runs his lights at night time, because that's obviously going to be the coolest part of the day. So if you're setting up a new grow and you're thinking, what should I do with my light schedule? As much nighttime as possible. When you're on 18.6, a little bit difficult in the summertime, because you're going to get the evenings and the mornings, which can still be reasonably cool. But just to be off at 9 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you're just missing out that whole hottest part of the day, the midday part.
That's how I run mine.
Yeah. Find out near you when is the hottest part of the day on average, and make sure the 6 hours is off during that time there. And that's going to help. It's going to help a little bit. But it's still going to get warm, but at least it won't be too warm, Yeah, man. And with the LEDs as well, another good thing about those is you can dim them. I don't really like doing that. I like that shit to get full spectrum,
Unless it's like if it hits like 95 degrees out here, because I grow upstairs, and like I don't have an attic. I like in my rooms, I have at least one wall or one roof is slanted in that room. So it's only got that little bit of thickness of insulation. Yeah. So when it's like 95 out, man, those rooms get hot upstairs. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. Because the UK houses, they're built to hold in heat. And when you're you got heat bouncing off your roof, and you're on the top floor, so you're just underneath the roof. It's just, no matter how much insulation is up there, it's still going to come through to the top floor. And the heat rises and gets stuck. And then you got the heat above you as well, which is trapping it. And it just builds up, man. You get so much. And if you're growing up there on the top floor, it's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. So controlling the humidity is important as well, where, when it's getting warm, then humidity matters. Because essentially what's happening is, if it gets too warm, the plant will be evaporating, or it can get thirsty, it can dehydrate, and it can die because the shitload's evaporating off it because it's warmer. All right, so if you can control the humidity, then you can make the plants happier under high temperatures. It's not the way you want to go, but you don't want to worry about it too much, because essentially if you can control the humidity and have that at the right level, then it won't be so bad. The plant will be fine. As I've said, I've seen plants up at like 35, 38 degrees on the HPS. And they were fine.
That's crazy.
They were fucking fine.
No, were they running CO2 or no?
No. Just a normal UK fucking grow in the summertime, man.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, gets warm sometimes. When you run HPS, it gets warm, man.
Yeah,
it's warm.
Yeah.
As long as they got a good enough water supply, then they'd just drink it up, wouldn't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But let's talk about the whole VPD thing then, the vapor pressure deficit. You want to talk about what that is, Billy?
Well, VPD sounds like you've got a disease to me, but still,
That's just flashbacks, mate. It's
that's
not
just
really.
yeah. Okay, is that what that is?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
So basically, it's like the temperature rises, raise your humidity slightly just to stay in range. Like you don't let the RH, whatever that stands for, drop too
Room
low
humidity.
on too low on hot days. Basically, your plants will just dry out too fast. As we said, just keep them watered really well, and so obviously. Check if you can check twice a day is the best thing. Check in the morning, early afternoon, and then again in the evening. Just to keep the water top so it's not completely dried out. As long as as you keep the top layer just slightly dry and then stick your finger in, sort of thing, see how moist it is. Like, yeah, forget what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. Just water them enough. Make sure they don't dry out. You know? It's simple as that, really. Because
if you got the old thermometer things help as well, don't you? Your old prong sticks.
With the high, for the soil. In cocoa, you should be watering all the time anyway. You know.
Yeah.
And if you are in like full hydro, full water setups, then you got to worry about your reservoir then as well, because that might get a little bit warm with all the heat around the ambient air. So you might have to get fucking aquarium chillers and shit like that to make sure you can keep the root zone at a low temperature. Or some people add these foil bits to like foil cardboard underneath the plants but on top of the pot, so it helps reflect some of the light back up so it doesn't heat up, but they still get far too warm. You know, once it starts getting over 20 degrees in the root zone, 23 I think it is, I think that's the max it wants to get to. 18 is the best if you can keep it around there. Yeah, man. So you got to worry about this root zone as well when you're in full hydro like that. Damn, it's difficult.
Yeah, hydro is probably the worst for the heat out of all of them.
I didn't like it when I tried to do it that way with buckets. That's why I switched to a res with smaller, mini reses underneath my plants instead of big ass bucket, because then it can just keep bringing in cool water.
Yeah, so this VPD thing, I never like bringing up these ridiculous fucking acronyms that pop out of everywhere, because there's so many of them when it comes to growing cannabis. VPD, PPFD, all this shit, and it just makes it sound far more complicated than it really has to be. I don't know why it's put across that way sometimes. And essentially, as was said in the chat here by Billy the Kid, the whole VPD thing is essentially temperature and humidity. If you just know the correct temperatures and humidity and can hold them around there, plant's going to be fine. You don't even need to know what the fuck VPD is. But when it starts to get warm, you don't, it's really, it's completely unnecessary. I was growing for like fucking, 6 years before I heard the term VPD. I was like, doing VPD? Like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, it's because of this and this and this. I'm like, all right, so you mean temperature and humidity? Like, VPD. It's like, why don't you just say fucking temperature and humidity? It's another one what bothered me. Random tangent, but you know what? Fucking this, like, the plant seems to like it needs more food. It's like, feed it more often. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we'll call that high frequency fertigation. And it's like, get your dick out your mouth, man. It's just feeding the plant more.
Sorry.
What the fuck? Sorry, random tangent there.
Still.
Fuck. No, we're not in smoke break. Sorry, Billy. Sorry.
Oh, right.
We're back.
Sorry.
We're back.
You're talking about the VPD. Oh,
yeah, VPD.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Right.
Yeah. And to me, it just sounds like some viral disease, mate.
Yeah. I looked it up and I just was like, I don't understand why I'm reading this. I get it. Like, it's just like you're saying, it's temp and humidity. Like,
sounds like you're getting aids for your plants.
Why do I got to learn a whole nother number? And look at a different chart.
I just don't care about it, to be honest. I don't even know my mind.
We do have some numbers here.
Uses VPD.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We do have a little chart here to give some ideas, right? It's a sweet spot for VPD. Veg, 0.8 to 1.2 kPa is what it says here. What is that? What does it even mean?
Cups per hour.
Is that how much you've been evaporated from the...
Yeah.
Right, yeah, but let's roll with that. That works, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
That is not
That
correct
works for me.
information, everybody. But
Yeah,
you
that
know,
is definitely not correct information.
essentially, let's
Yeah.
break it down, make it all really easy. You don't need to know all this crazy shit. There's charts you can go and see. You just go to Google or your favorite search engine
Yeah.
and search for VPD chart for cannabis, and you'll see loads of fucking pictures. Loads. I think there's even one over at
Yeah.
Percy'sGrowroom.com where it will tell you if you're on a particular temperature, if you're on like 32 degrees Celsius or, you know, the Freedom Unit equivalent, then it will say, oh, you need to be at 62. For example, I think it's around there. But you need to be at 62% room humidity. And that's it. You can just adjust the humidity of the room as the temperature goes up. You know, you increase it because when there's a lot of moisture in the air, the plants can't evaporate the moisture in it so quick, so it can't drink so fast. It kind of, you know, it keeps the liquid in for a little bit longer. And that's why you just raise the humidity, but not so much. You know, you don't want to go, especially if you're in flower, you don't want to be going over 65% humidity and shit. That gets risky. Even more than 55 is a bit risky, you know.
That's kind of why I don't like those either, is because that chart is like, oh, well, if I'm running at 100 degrees, I can just throw her up to 70% humidity and everything's going to be fine. And I'd be freaking out.
That's right. And
That's
it's
way
fucking
too much humidity.
humid. You can't even breathe in the tent yourself. You know? And that's when mold's going to pop up, you know. You have to be careful with that shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, VPD is just one of these things, man. You're going to stress yourself out a little bit when the temperatures get high. But if you just know just a little bit about VPD, like I said, maybe if you get stressed by that kind of thing, print yourself off a chart. And then you can see, oh, it's hot today. I'll make sure the humidity is on such and such a level. Which you can do easy enough by either getting a humidifier to add some humidity or just slow down the extraction a little bit. You know? It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you have humidifier in your tent there, John?
In my room, I don't. My flower room stays pretty good. In my veg tent, I do run it occasionally. Usually in the winter, I have to run my humidifier in my veg tent. But otherwise, my flower room is pretty much. Usually, I'm having to suck humidity out of the room.
Yeah. Well, you're saying, Billy, because Billy, you know, you always foggy where you are and cloudy and shit. You deal with high humidity, do you?
Yeah, sometimes, but then that's just good extraction as well. So, yeah, I don't have to worry about it too much, to be honest. I've got, I suppose, my tent and my room stay quite the same all year round in a way, so it ain't too bad.
Yeah.
So,
Same for mine.
It
was pretty stable. It was always like around 52% humidity, and it didn't change up unless it rained crazy. Then that would make a slight difference.
Sometimes it can
get
really, it does get a bit humid in there, but then I haven't got enough flowering plants at the time for it, so there's not enough build up, so it's fine. I mean, it deals with it, so that's why I grow how I do, because it helps deal with all environments, so just easier.
Nicholas Hackey in the chat there says, I do because where I live, it stays around 30 to 40% humidity, you know, so this guy does have a humidifier to add humidity to the room. And this is one of them things, again, you know, there's many ways to swing a cat. It's going to depend on what your situation is. You know, is it getting up to those kind of temperatures? Do you have dry air? Do you have wet air? You know, are you using
what kind of pots
HPS?
are you using,
yeah,
too?
What kind of pots? What medium you're in? So many things need to be taken into consideration to like decide how to fix the problem. And it can get stressful. Like I said, I took my hygrometer out the tent, so I couldn't just see any of the shit anyway. There's nothing I could do about it. But you know, and I think people should take that kind of approach to it. If it starts to stress you out, and because this is mainly for Percy growers, people who are growing cannabis for personal use, hobby growers. So you don't want it getting stressful. It's not fun when it's fucking stressful. And if you can just forget about it sometimes, that, you know, sativa for the things you can change and indica for the things you can't, right? So yeah, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. So just fucking relax. The plants are going to be fine. Keep an eye on them. You keep the humidity up if necessary. If you don't have a humidifier, there's easy ways to do that. Most people would like either water the plants, because that's going to evaporate some water coming from the medium there. But putting a wet towel in there as well can also help just raise humidity for an hour or two. So there's ways around
That's
it.
quick, actually, too. Like using the little towel method, man, that goes fast. Like,
yeah.
instant.
Viking asks a good question here regarding this. Do you put humidifier in the tent or sit it near the intake fan outside? What do you do, John?
In.
You have it inside the tent?
Yep.
And then it'll go, and then a fan will blow it around, and it'll be extracted
Well,
out.
so I use like a cool mist one.
Right.
So it's already pushing it out. And then I have, of course, I have fans in there already that are moving it around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a big unit. It's just shit the size of maybe the size of a gallon milk jug.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not very big.
Yeah, and most people use a long room. So, you know, if you have the space for it, just to explain to everybody there. Yeah, a long room is essentially a room that is you're gonna extract all the air from that room into the grow tent, so you have a better chance of controlling the environment in the specific room. You know, so you can change the temperature and humidity in a small long room, and then it'll be extracted into the tent, and it just it balances everything out easier. That's the best way to go if you can do that. Doing things directly in the tent, shit just gets extracted so quick, whether that's humidity or heat or cold, you know, whichever. Yeah, man. Be careful out there with the fucking VPD, everybody. Whatever that is. The VPD's under the bed. Don't look. It's coming to get you. Don't say VPD in the mirror more than 3 times.
I know a lot of people go by it, but I can't.
Yeah.
I'm in my old ways, you know what I mean?
That's right. So just sum that up there. You know, if the temps raise the humidity slightly to stay in range. Don't let the room humidity drop too low on hot days because your plants are going to evaporate faster. So they'll suck the moisture out the medium faster, and then it'll be evaporated into the air where it's pulled out. You know, and that's it. You know, then it's going to drink and evaporate more. That's the way it goes. The hotter it gets, the more it does that. So yeah, and genetics do matter as well, depending on what strain you're growing. Some plants won't be affected up, like I said, 35, 38 degrees before you ever see any heat problems. But some you're getting up to 28 and they're freaking out. It depends on you know, the genetics of the actual strain and where it originates from in the first place. You know. But yeah, keep an eye on another good thing you can do is keep an eye on the leaf temperatures as well. You get one of them, you're only like 10 quid, and they're fun toys, man. Especially if you've got a dog or a cat that likes to chase laser beams, you know, one of those. You get one of them fucking little temperature guns, you just blast it on the leaf, and it'll be like, 24 degrees. So though it's 28, like in the room, he's like, 28 degrees, man, I'm freaking out. You get your fucking leaf temp thing out, beep, just like that. It says 24. You're like, oh, I'm freaking out over nothing.
Okay.
Macky was correct. You know what I'm saying? So calm down, everybody. If you are stressing out about it and there's nothing you can do about it, get rid of the fucking thermometer. There's not really. What are you gonna do? Kill your plants? Well, don't stress about it, man. Just it is what it is. If you can get yourself aircon, because aircon is gonna, you know, as it's called air conditioning, because it's gonna condition the air and make it into a nice, good temperature for you or your plants, whichever way you want. But that's obviously expensive. Takes a lot of power. A big kit set that shit up. In the UK, it's just not worth it. Otherwise, we would have it already. Right. And if you can't do that, then just more fans, bucket of ice if you can. That would help. You know, so frozen bottles that you can replace. And if you're in hydro as well, that's a nice way. Just keep freezing small cola bottles and throwing them into the water, and that's one of those in there. Replace it every couple of hours, and it'll keep your res temps cooler. If you don't have a fucking one of those aquarium coolers. Mission, man.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, they are for sure.
Chillers are expensive. So like I have a stand-up air conditioner that I feed my flower room with, and I hate it. I wish I had a bigger window in my flower room so I could put it in the window air conditioner. You know, because then it can get rid of some of the heat.
Yeah, vent out
another way too.
And
so
make the cold shit.
And those ones seem to run a lot cheaper. Also, like the in the window ones run electricity style cheaper than the stand-up ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want one of them ones. I've wanted one for years, man, but the missus is just like, no, we are not being the only house in the whole fucking street to have an air conditioner built on the wall outside. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Come on.
Why not? I don't understand. What are we talking about here?
Why would you have that? We're in the UK. I mean, where you have it, it wouldn't stand out because it's just an ordinary thing. But to see just one house with fucking air conditioner built on the outside.
Yeah. Then next thing you know, every other house is going to get one, keeping up with the Joneses, and you're the Joneses.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you were smart in the beginning going, Oh, it's so nice and cool in here.
Yeah, and even on
sip my
days where it's
whiskey.
cool outside, it's still nice to have air conditioned air, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I say, I tried to convince the missus for a long time. She's not having it, but
Right.
I would love one of
I
those.
mean,
man.
it
I
pulls
would love
it
one of
pulls
those.
humidity out of the air in your house too. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
fucking air conditioner, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get one of those if you can convince the missus. Yeah, but definitely worth it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like tonight, as it is now, sitting here, I like the heat, as I said, but I would like it to be cooler as I'm sitting here chilling doing the show. And I've had an air
What's the
conditioner.
temp in your house right now?
I don't even know. It's minimum 21 degrees. That's what it is outside.
Freedom units, please. What does that mean?
Oh, fucking hell. Nobody does that, John. It's just you guys in the States. Gosh.
Dick.
21 degrees C?
21
Like
C,
3 times or
yeah.
something? It's a 65, 70?
69.8. That's not bad at all. That's 70 degrees.
I was quite right with that guess as well. You see that?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Good job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some other tricks to lower the grow temps. You want to talk about some of those there, Billy?
Sorry about that. My mic was on mute then. I was taking a drink. Say that again.
We already hit some of these.
There's other tricks to lower grow temps. You want to talk about some of those?
Well, installation and passive cooling is mostly the way, isn't it, really? It says here to use insulated ducting to reduce the radiant heat from extraction fans. Blackout curtains, that does help with any of the sun getting into you.
For sure.
Yeah, that helps quite a lot. So the sun obviously is going to create a lot of heat in your room. If you're going in a loft or attic, relining it with reflective foil for insulation as well.
Yeah, but I don't think they actually mean foil. You know, they're using that insulation shit. You know, the silver stuff they put under like laminate floor and things like that. Don't actually use foil, everybody. It doesn't work the same.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No.
it doesn't work yet. Yeah, that's about it really. It's like keeping the environment outside the tent. You just got to move stuff around, really, making sure that you've got a lot of space around the tent. So make sure you've got the dehumidifiers if you're there outside in good places and things like that. Just remember to just make sure what equipment and how hot it's going to get, or where it's placed for health and safety reasons. Mostly is the other things to mostly to do with things like that. But I think lowering grow temps is probably the hardest thing to do, to be honest, out of all the things. Because to be honest,
controlling the temperature, definitely. It is. I mean, everything actually got kind of control over how much EC you're putting in the plant. You know, what pH, how often you're watering it. You know, the fans you got. But when it gets too warm, and there's really nothing you can do about it, then it's very stressful.
Yeah, there's just a few things. Yeah, it's like I said, use fabric pots, obviously, so you get good airflow for you. So it's just like preemptive things and to stop it before it happens, sort of thing. Elevate the pots off the ground if you're getting hot floors. If you've got a concrete floor as well, try and cover the concrete floor with something so it's not so sort of concretey, because that can get but it can get warm and reflect heat as well. So you got to be thinking of like maybe tiled floors if you can. Like you don't have to lay the tiles probably, you can just literally lay them on the floor. They don't have to be sort of whacked solid in place, but like it's do what you can really. So
and that's it. And just doing those kind of things can reduce the temperature by a couple of degrees, which, you know, would make you a lot happier to see it lower.
Yeah, and sometimes
the
that's
plants
all you need
don't
is that,
care, you know?
that 2 degrees would be a bit different. But I wouldn't really to be worried about it unless you're getting like hitting 35, 36 degree all day long, and you sort of got to drip feed them for a week and you can't attend your plants at all. Then I'd worry, but it's not something I think you'd worry about too much.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
There's not really much you can do about it. You know, if you have air conditioner, then you won't get this problem, you know. But if you don't have aircon, you can't do anything about it.
Right.
You know, you're just going to have to get an aircon if you want real control over the temperature. That's all you can really do. But obviously, like we said, you can add the humidity as it gets hotter to help. But realistically, if you want to keep the temperatures at the right temperature and it gets warm, you're going to need aircon. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
But the plants can be they're happy as well. like when the temperature goes up, you can feed them more CO2. They get over the stress easier and things like that. But with the whole CO2 thing, it's better to have a closed environment, right? So
Yeah.
like you're not you're not pumping CO2 into the tent and then it's just being instantly pulled out there, because the extractor is pulling the whole room air out every 3 times a minute or something like that. They work crazy fast.
Yeah.
So you're spraying the CO2 in there and it's being sucked out before the plants can even use it. So unless you're in a sealed system where that's going to get extracted and then pumped back in and go around, and in those cases you really need the whole, the air conditioner, the heater, need everything linked up, because you got to really keep control of that air that's being pumped into the tent the whole time. Otherwise, it's just going to get ridiculously humid and ridiculously hot.
Yeah, it's getting on very expensive way to grow.
Yeah, it's just not worth it, in my opinion, to do that for a home grower.
No.
For the amount it costs, and CO2 is poisonous as well. If you're breathing too much of it, you won't be happy. So just avoid that shit, in my opinion. I don't think if you're going to go professional one day and have a big farm like those guys in the news were complaining about, then yeah, maybe CO2 is something you can look into. But you've got to sort out 90% of everything else before you get to that stage. So yeah, just to summarize there, it's just some things you can do to try and reduce the heat in your grow room. And again, just remember not to stress. If you've done everything already and it's not going down, just remove the temperature, just remove the thermometer from the grow room, and don't worry about it, because there's nothing else you can do. It'll be fine. Don't worry, it will be fine. I've never had plants die from heat stress. Never.
No.
So just keep watering them. It'll be fine, everybody. It'll be fine. Don't stress. But you can increase the ventilation and run the lights at night, especially if it's on 12-12. Then nighttime's great. But as I said earlier, 18-6 in daytime. In the summertime, when there's 18 hours of light and 6 hours of darkness outside, you're gonna be crossing over. Just make sure it's turned off in between like midday. Yeah, the hottest part of the day, wherever it is where you are. Use LEDs rather than the old HID bulbs. You might like using those, and some people like to use them in the wintertime because they produce the extra heat. But if you do use HID and prefer that, cool. But just while it's getting hot, just use LED just for a while, and then when it gets back to more tolerable temperatures, change it back around. Yeah, put the HID back in. And then we got ACs, coolers, frozen bottles, anything that's cold that you can add to the grow room will help. The frozen bottles are good for the DWC shit, like I mentioned, or the reservoir that gets pumped around if you want to find an easy way for that. Control humidity to maintain proper VPD. As we said, if it gets too hot, bump up the temperature, the humidity. What are you saying, John?
No, yep. It's that VPD word again. The letters.
Don't stress about it too much, everybody. There's antibiotics for it. Insulate the space and keep hot gear outside. That's what you spoke about, right, Billy?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I already spoke about it. So rewind and then do that bit again.
And then check it out.
Yeah.
So any kind of equipment that produces heat, just have that outside of the grow room, and hopefully it won't become too much of a problem.
Apart from the light, obviously.
Yeah. And don't try to reflect it in from outside. I'm just gonna put this on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Careful placements of mirrors.
Yeah. And good insulation as well to keep the heat out. That will help as well. And cool the root zone, and you can do that just by watering it. Just water the plants with cool water, and they'll be a little bit happy for a while. Do that more often if you're in cocoa or something. It's a little bit more difficult in soil, but it can handle it well. So don't stress too much. So that's it, really. Yeah. Now, I don't think there's anything to add there when it comes to temperatures, but if anybody's struggling out there and they need some advice on your specific setup, then post on Percy'sGrowroom.com. Let us know, and we'll try and figure out what you can do. And then, if you can't do anything, you'll find the moral support to just not stress about it. You know what I'm saying? Anything to add, John?
Don't panic.
Yeah, always good advice. Wait, anything to add, Billy?
No, I think I've covered what we need to cover.
Sweet then, because we've got a few questions that are related to this for the listener mail. So let's cover some of those, right? You got, is it worth running my lights at night just to keep the temps lower? What do you say, John? You want to answer that one?
Yes, absolutely. It's going to keep it cooler. You know, we talked about it already. I mean, that's just
right.
It's if it's summertime, do it. I rotate mine all, you know, every year in the summer, just so that I can run them at night.
So you usually run them through the daytime?
No, in the winter I do, because then what I do is I pump the heat into the house, right? I pump it out of the flower room and stuff, and I just recirculate that heat.
Yeah, good plan.
Yeah. So that's how I roll with it.
And what were you saying, Billy? Same thing? You running at night time?
Little bit, yeah, a bit of both, but yeah, it doesn't matter with me with the temperatures, but that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
and also for prices normally as well for your electric.
Yeah, some places do that, don't they? Like off-peak electricity is cheaper.
I asked about that. They don't do that around here for me in my little town. They don't offer that.
You probably don't pay extortionate prices in the first place, so.
Well, in bigger towns they have that, and I think it's the infrastructure, right? If they have it set up for that.
Yeah, I think that's a lot for business. So some businesses can operate at night cheaper by running machinery and shit. Yeah, maybe printers and things like that, which operate heavy duty stuff.
Yeah. So there you go, nice and easy that one. If you want to try and reduce the temperatures, just fucking run the lights at night when it's cooler. Nice and easy. You know, we've got another one here. Yeah, it's related as well. If my temps are a bit too high, but my humidity is also high, should I be worried? Yes. High temps with high humidity can lead to poor transpiration and even mold issues. That's what we mentioned earlier, didn't we? You know, so and this is it. We mentioned. Sorry, John, you're saying
it can, unless you'd go back to that VPD chart we were talking about earlier, where it says to up the humidity if the temps are a little hot.
Yeah.
You know.
It just stops the plant evaporating so much, but still, you don't want it getting too high still, you know? You don't want to push that, especially if you're in flower, you don't want the humidity to go too high. But, you know, you do what you can, you know?
Yeah. Just keep the air moving, in my opinion.
That's the important thing.
If you can't bring the humidity down and the temps are high, just make sure your fans are moving air.
And extraction. Keep the fresh air coming in, keep the air moving. Yeah. And just try not to worry too much, you know, and water the plants, make sure they don't dry out, make sure there's plenty of water available for them. And, you know, that's what you can do, really. That's what you can do.
That's right. And
don't stress too much about it, you know?
No. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, this question here, last one here. What's the cheapest way to cool a small grow tent? Just don't, you know. You know what is a small grow tent? Well, I would say that was a 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter, a little stealth grow. And that's just easy to do with a couple of bottles of frozen water if necessary. You know, a couple of bags of ice.
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
You see those little water air conditioner things they're saying out there now? They're like, I don't know, like 8 inches by 8 inches. You know?
Yeah, and they got a little tray of water in them.
Yeah. Like what? I wonder if one of those would work pretty good in there. But
maybe
not up the humidity. You know what I mean?
It'd be
I always want to get one and try one. I should get one.
Yeah, I've had one, but I never used it in the tent.
Yeah.
It was just one of these fads that was here in the UK for a while. Like, oh, this will really cool you down. And it's like, no, it fucking didn't. You lying bastards. Yeah. You gotta watch that humidity, man. You gotta watch that humidity. Yeah. What are you saying, Billy? What would you suggest? Do you have a small grow tent? Or you just got your big one?
No, I've just got a big one.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, I'd say to get a bigger one. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, that's right. How do you keep a small grow tent cool? Let's get a bigger one.
Yeah.
No, but easy to do, and you shouldn't worry about it too much as well. You know, you just want to stress that as much as possible. Don't worry about it too much. The plants are going to be okay, especially if it's just, you know, a few days at a time where it gets ridiculously hot, like in the UK. You know, if it's going to be prolonged, then maybe invest in that aircon. You know, maybe get another fan or two. You know, maybe new extractor, or extracted the blowing cool air versus blowing out the hot air. Yeah, loads you can do.
I mean, I figure you're gonna, like your first year growing, you're gonna find out a lot about what you should do at what times of the year,
Yeah.
So just track everything you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Coming
man.
into July, I gotta cool it down. It's coming,
Yeah, what's your plan? What are you gonna do to? I mean, does it stress you out? Does it get too warm? No.
It gets hot sometimes, but I don't worry about it because I know it's gonna it's gonna cool down.
That's it. And as new growers, which many people who listen to this may be new growers. This is a whole grow guide to start from nothing and learn everything you need to know. So there's people going to be on their first or second grow, and it's summertime, and they're going to be stressing so much. I remember myself stressing so much about the temperatures during the summer, like no idea what the fuck to do, just stressing about, oh, my plant's going to fucking die. No, they really don't. They'll really be fine. Do what you can. I'm not saying sit there and just let it fucking rot or whatever. Do what you can, but once you've done what you can, don't stress. That's all you can do. Yep. Aircon though, everybody. Aircon. Yeah, no, just a quick word from our sponsor here. What's a good aircon brand?
GE, Westinghouse, I don't know. Frigidaire.
Man. Yeah, man. So there we go, everybody. That's about it. I don't think there's any other questions in the chat there, so I think we're good to go over to the outro. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, man.
After it.
Yeah, man. Cool. And don't forget, everybody, if you have questions or anything, Percy'sGrowroom.com. We're over there. Or the Discord, which is in the link of the description. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the outro. It's so warm. It's so warm. Guys, good show, everybody. Good show. Yeah, but yeah, it is warm, man. I'm here talking about how to keep the grow room cool, and it's like fucking dying in this room. How'd you get a normal room cool first? Fuck. Jesus, I really wish I had that
air conditioner in the window. That's what you do. Just throw it in there.
Yeah,
I mean, do they have do like restaurants and stuff run aircon over there?
Yeah. You see the like the one you mount outside, them big air cons. They're on all the shops and all restaurants and things like that. It's just something we don't have at home. Yeah. Madness, right?
Yeah, it is kind of madness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love walking into a house when it's nice and cool and it's like 100 degrees outside. It's
well, I got this shop near me, the Co-op. And I go in there, and they got the fucking best aircon. So you go in there, you'll notice it straight away. Oh, nice aircon. But you go in, you shop in a half hour, and then when you step out of the you got the air conditioned building, and you step out into the air, you're like, what the fuck? And this is this is my argument. Like, come on, man. You feel the difference there, love? You feel the difference? Like when we're in there, you feel the air conditioned air, and then you step out, you're breathing now. We could get aircon. It'll be, and this will be sorted. You sleep at night, but yeah, expensive.
You wouldn't instantly sweat. Like, I hate that so much. Oh my God. Coming out of aircon and you're just like melting as soon as you hit that humidity and that hot air. Oh God. I'm a sissy, guys. Okay. I'm a sissy, apparently. But I love it.
Just, if you have air conditioners, everybody, just be grateful for them.
Yeah. Right.
It could be one of those things that you can easily overlook as one of the finer things in life. Jesus.
Yeah, but the cost we pay for electricity over it, mate, air conditioning costs you a fortune.
Yeah. To run it all night as well, imagine that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
be mad.
You would be.
Yeah.
It would be crazy, I bet. Holy.
Saw some bullshit the other day where it was explaining why the UK's electricity is so expensive. And it was something like, and this might be incorrect, probably incorrect, everybody. Take it with a pinch of salt. But when the wind turbines are not making energy, the British taxpayer is charged for the energy it could have been making. Or some bullshit like that.
Shut up. Seriously?
Something ridiculous like that. Yeah, like we're paying because the energy company isn't doing it properly or something. Did you see anything about that, Billy?
No, but it probably makes some sort of sense that we pay more because they're doing some stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then
What?
wind turbines are a waste of time and money anyway. They create loads of fucking pollution, loads of waste from them.
Yeah.
The amount of concrete that gets used on pouring their base, it almost makes it pointless doing. It's fucking stupid. Most un-eco thing there is, almost.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That's so expensive over there and the bullshit.
Well, what can you do?
Fucking
Grow any
should be
weed?
sorry.
Yeah, what can you do? Big aloha, high on homegrown from B. Hendrix. You had that in Hawaii or something, bro? Saying aloha like that and shit? Nice. Nice. Well, thanks for coming to join us, everybody. It's been a good session. Hope you go and enjoy the rest of your day. You know, we've got guys out there in Australia just getting up and shit. Have a good day for those who are still halfway through their day. Enjoy the rest of your day. You just might as well say good morning, good evening, and good night, and all that shit, innit?
Yeah.
And if I've got
a dad joke, if you want a
Oh,
dad
yeah, let's
joke.
finish off with that joke. Let's go, Billy.
There you go. What's the difference between sex and fishing?
A hooker?
Or close. You want to
Okay.
catch something when you're fishing.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Okay, Billy.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hit that like button
There
for
you go.
Billy's joke, everybody.
There you go.
See you on the
Dad
next
joke.
one. Bye-bye.
How's it going?
Well done.
Don't encourage him, John.
I'm sorry.